Welcome back, everyone, as we jump into Set 2 and Mifflin, the last regular season game of the SPL this year. Still got playoffs, still have the road to Worlds for the SEC crews and NAA and in EU. Still have the last qualifier like play-ins the week before, and of course the World Championship itself. But as far as regular season play, week to week, week in, week out, and playing each other in these divisions, this is the last one. And man, is it going to be a fun one. With the Dragons securing themselves third seed over the Hounds, we now jump into an area where the only thing that can really change is the number in the win column for one of these two teams, Gladiators, taking on the Warriors. Gladiators 0-9, I believe, right now. Could be 0-10 by the end of the day. Or will they take the Warriors, who, quick math, actually don't need it. Here's the standing, 7-2. Who go to 7-3? Will they go 8-2? We'll find out. Of course, you can see the top seeds for each of those teams: Ferrymen, Leviathans, Dragons, Warriors, Ravens, Kings. Those are the 6 teams going to playoffs in a couple of weeks. Hounds, Gladiators have to go the long way around to qualify themselves in. We'll have to compete against some of the SEC squads for those last 4 spots after playoffs. At Worlds to fill out the full 8 teams. That's all in the future. What is in here and the now, again, is Warriors and Gladiators. And Mifflin, I think there's multiple ways to crack this. It's the last set of a season.
Yep.
Of a regular season. It is one that, you've got a team that maybe, they're looking for that win, but because their fate's already solidified, can be a little goofy. And a team that is really, really, really mechanically gifted, whose fate is also already sealed, who could probably goof around a little bit. How do you think, not the Warriors, how do you think the Glads come into this set? And what are their goals?
I actually talked to Kyrmi last night, and I said, hey, man, what can I expect? And he goes, Miff, I will be trying. That's exactly how he said, I will be trying. So the Gladiators, I'm sure.
What I like is that you didn't ask if he was trying.
Yeah, I was like, hey, what's going on? Your fate's sealed. What's up? I will be trying. That's all he gave me.
Okay.
Didn't say anything crazy about God picks or game plans, just the fact that he's going to be putting some effort on the field today, and I'm sure the rest of the team certainly wants to do exactly that.
I will be trying, locks in like Changa Jungle.
He won't do it.
He won't do it?
You know what, Hunbots? Maybe we get like a Hercules. I don't know if he's going real crazy.
Okay. He might go. He might dip his toes in, but he won't jump. He won't dive in head first.
When you're over in the win column,
yeah, good point.
Every match is your Worlds.
Good point. Admittedly, this one would be a huge one, right? Jake up against the team that kicked him. If that could be the only win they get this season, it would be massive. But maybe more importantly, much like you had highlighted, they have been on a pretty long and almost monumental loss streak. Not as bad as we've seen in some years past. I'm looking at, I believe, SK Gaming 25 sets lost in a row before they were able to change anything down, and that might have just been because the season ended and they had to change their team that it happened. Of course, the Glads looking to break that loss streak, though, and that guy on your screen has been a huge, I want to say, breath of fresh air to this team. He has been looking real solid as Jangaru, and we got to sit down with him earlier this week for an interview.
I think we definitely played way better, and we're continuing to play better like every set that we play. There's still some stuff we get shaky on that we're still trying to work through, but with me being a new addition and also a rookie, I'm trying to add as much input and help as much as I can. I do feel like we have been meshing better. As weeks go on, I know it's harder to see it, but I feel like we are playing better every chance that we play together. Going up against Warriors this phase, they've been looking very good. I guess I have a bit of an outside SEC perspective, and then coming into SPL, I do think they've still been playing good. I think they've been a little bit rockier towards the end, but during the beginning with Jake and with Genetics, I feel like they both have been transitioning well and playing just as good as they normally play. Well, leading off the playoffs, our final week, I feel pretty confident. I'm gonna try to extend that confidence to our team so we can play basically the best that we can. We're playing against some very, very good people I admire from being SEC and SPL like Pegon. So we're gonna try to play as best we can against one of the top teams to show basically what we've been practicing for throughout the remainder of this split. I think there might be a little bit of, grudge match maybe since I'm here with Jake being Jake being out and Genetics being in, so I feel like maybe that would give us more of a little boost or, you know, incentive to play at our peak for this grudge match.
Looking for the grudge match. First off, love that guy.
Dude, I'm such a Jangaru fan. It's insane.
Look, you know, because we watched him a lot in the SCC, right? Had him come out for a few lands and got to interact with him there, but like the time he's been in the SPL and more specifically his eloquent responses during interviews have sold me as a Jangaru fan as well. And he's looked real good. And if, like you said, Kyrmi is hooked in, locked in, and ready to play, the question is, what are they going to be playing up against? Well, that's the Oni Warriors team that take Genetics out, add Jake in, went on the longest win streak in SMITE history. And with Genetics, while they've taken a couple more lumps so far this season, are still in contention for top team in the SPL this year. The question is what they're going to bring today. And Myth yesterday, when they played the Kings, will admit, games 1 and 2, and maybe a little bit of 3, were a lot more serious, let's call it, than what I was expecting, because that set also didn't really have any ramifications to it. Outside of, again, Genetics beating his old team, now with Jake trying to beat his old team. I'm wondering if we're going to get more of that, or if they're going to lean into the, let's call it the late season sillies.
Late season sillies I'd have to protect, right? So the Oni Warriors probably see the beef with the Camelot Kings, which is why they take it a little bit more seriously. Genetics, I'm not losing to my previous team. I'm not sure the Oni Warriors are feeling the same way about the Gilded Gladiators, even with Jake on that side, so probably going to have a little bit more fun this time around, if I had to guess. Maybe some sillier picks, maybe they decide to go for some more fast-paced games, try and set maybe the speed record. That was something the Oni Warriors were talking about earlier on in the phase, wanted to have one of the fastest games in SPL history. Maybe they could try and aim for something like that here. But as far as I'm concerned, man, I just really do not see the Oni Warriors coming. We're not going to see, like, the Khepri. I don't think that's happening.
Okay.
We're not getting, like, the bread and butter. Is there going to be a Raijin solo? I bet everything that it's not going to be on them. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more fun time for the Oni Warriors.
You know what's wild about them is they have a team and players that are so eclectic in their picks and their play style already that it does take a little bit of effort for them to get from this is just a weird Warriors draft that they're going to make work to the realm of, okay, now they're just goofing around.
I'll let you know.
You'll let me know? Like, when
I think we got it.
Because, like, Pegon, that dude will play whatever he wants. Sot seemingly sometimes plays whatever he wants. Admittedly, it is a little more obvious, I think, with Sot's God picks than anybody else's, because he'll veer away from what is meta. Yesterday, he still played mages, but Thoth and Scylla were in that list. Genetics has played Anhur and Freya. Loves those gods, too. He talks about them pretty often for a guy who can only play them every now and then.
Hasn't played the Freya yet, I don't think.
No, the few times that he's wanted to go for it,
it
gets banned away, and he gets really upset about it, too.
That's one of the easiest things to do on the planet, though. Upsetting Genetics, like, it could happen quickly.
And sometimes it's just a Freya ban, maybe to prove your point. Ullr, Athena, Ratatoskr, Yemoja. Those are the 4 bans so far. First 2 from the Gladiators, last 2 from the Warriors. And so far, Myth, to lean on that, feels pretty normal.
And they are yucking it up in the booth there. What's so funny, man?
I wish I knew. Some joke. Who do you think tells the best jokes on that team?
On the Oni Warriors?
Yeah.
Who's got the best? Who's the best yapper, perhaps? Man,
I feel like Pegon's like a sleeper for actually Panitom might be a sleeper for
I think it probably is Panitom, and if it's not Panitom, it's Genetics.
Yeah, I could see that.
It depends. If you're really into like deadpan humor, like Sot's kind of your guy.
He does a good job at that. Chernobog, Raijin join the bands. Warriors get rid of the Cherno. Gladiators get rid of the Raijin. Soul, insta-lock-in.
Oh, they got it.
Presumably for the Gladiators.
Hey, they're messing around, by the way. I said I'll let you know.
Oh, yeah, with the Freya
lock-in. Oh, yeah, they're big messing around.
Freya, Afro.
Right.
And you're assuming up front Freya
gotta be,
to
right?
Genetics?
Gotta be.
Netrioid do like that god.
Whoa, you get pick a field of like all the best gods still available. You're going to the Sobek in the second slide. Gladiators, the Warriors are messing around. I mean, you guys have to. Puch and Soul, though, I think, very, very good. Sobek just has not impressed me recently.
Maybe some lingering taste from yesterday. One missed Sobek pluck from a game 5.
Cost you your entire laning phase.
Yeah.
As well as maybe the game when he missed another one a little bit later on. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was this exact lane matchup, too. It was the Soul and the Sobek together.
That's not a great starting.
Is Jake okay? He is. He's looking angry.
Yeah, the Warriors kicked him. I'd be pissed too, bro.
I guess so.
He's feeling the rage.
Can't
right
help but
now,
notice
man.
he's not leaning back right now.
At the full lean. Maybe he's tilted in a different way. We'll find out, I guess, via gameplay. So if the Freya support, where's Afro going? Now I'm locked in on that.
Afro mid,
Afro
or
mid.
solo, or jungle.
Oh.
Anything but ADC.
Okay. But now we've got Freya and Anhur.
Right.
Both.
Right, it's Freya support.
It's Freya support?
It's Freya support.
Okay.
Anhur support is better than Freya support, but it's Freya support.
And that's why you're thinking
Yeah.
it's Freya support, is the Anhur support can work, and did work in an actual SPL game. Well, we'll see. It's Freya, Afro, Anhur for the Warriors. Erlong ban, 4 ban. Warriors with the first, Glads with the second. And Biff.
I think the Glads are going to win this game. Just looking at the top threes, I really feel like the Glads are going to win.
In a vacuum, they probably should, right?
I'm calling the shot. Everyone in chat right now should be spending their channel points on the Glads. I can't see what
wait to
fixes
see.
this Warriors draft.
I want to know how much. Okay, before you said that, what do you think the split was? I would be willing to say it was like 85-15.
I think it's
in favor of the
85-15 Warriors probably. Like 90-10 maybe.
Like for how people were voting?
Yeah.
Now that you've
hold
said
on,
that.
hold on. Guys, hold up.
Yes, stop spending.
Stop spending. Stop spending.
Stop the vote.
We are closing the polls right now. Hold on. If that Baba Yaga gets locked in, I'm so sorry about your points.
For the 10, 15 total seconds that you could have listened to Mifflin, it might all change.
Everybody
here.
chill. Everybody chill. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. That's
Take
not
deep
getting
breaths.
locked. That's not getting locked.
Paper bags are available if you need them.
I haven't bet yet. I'm going to go put my points on the Warriors now.
How much? So, assuming, well, just assume the worst for the top 3 and the best for the top 3 on the Gladiators.
Man, they better not lock that in. There's no way.
I want you to know, graphics 16. The message to us. It's Morgan Le Fay. Does that change?
That's
does that
better.
change you
That's
jumping?
better for the Glads. That's better for the Glads. Still not good, but better for the Glads.
Because it was 92-8 in favor of the Warriors. We were both still short.
Oh wow.
And it went from 8% for Gladiators to 30 when you said that.
Oh, don't do the Merc.
You might
Don't
have.
do the bots. Do the bots. Bots is so good in this draft. Everybody gonna get slammed by Fear No Evil. Really, you don't. Okay, that's worse. Do the Merc.
Really want him to do the monkey with you.
I mean, it could just be no. Yeah, man.
And you said his words were he's going to try. So I don't believe anything
That's not a
that's
need.
gone-
Yeah, he's not anything.
Anything after the first guy, the Mercury, I'm not believing it.
Man, this comp from the Warriors is straight up doggy. I'm gonna keep it a $150 with you. You should.
Yeah, who's going where here,
Bookie
man?
odds. I'm still taking the Glads right now. Yeah.
Even with a Scylla.
Diamond hands,
Cool.
straight to the moon. Stick Glads. Oh, Wheelish, we're in.
Yeah,
we're in.
They could have sold you even more.
Yeah, you got the Sobek synergy. I mean, the Ullr didn't need to exist, but that Awilix is pretty good. You got easy targets in the early game. I don't know where that Afro's going, but it's getting slammed. Freya's not tanky till 3rd slot, assuming it's support. Ullr didn't need to be the case. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I do hate it.
Do you want it mid or Opwash mid?
I think it's got to be Puch solo, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be Puch
God
solo.
knows what it's playing into.
Oh, we're
Morgan?
so back. How do the Warriors fix this?
So now
draft?
you don't feel bad for having so many people go.
Oh,
for the
dude.
Glads.
Glads might be taking one, Gore.
Yeah, well, I hope so. You can convince so many people to vote for him.
Oh, Glads are... Dude, Nemesis just bad into this, right? Tail Whip, beat Shield, Feather Step, sometimes beat Shield. I mean, you'll get rid of it. Ullr, Axe. You got options here. Yeah, Nem just doesn't have a clean target. the majority of the Glads are highly mobile. Glads have great targets to jump on and synergy knockups between Sol and Sobek.
And
yeah.
So I'm going to assume Nemesis for Panitom, right? Yesterday, we and you were having the conversation that dude, like, he does not like to troll too often. Even when he trolls, he doesn't go too far away from home.
So,
are you?
do I like the Nem? No, I hate it.
Oh, well, I know you hate it, but like it's that I can like for Panitom or
Oh,
where do you think that like half of this is going?
I think if Panitom got choice, like if I'm looking at the draft from the Gladiators, I'm like I can play whatever I want here. I might say as Panitom, just give me the Freya. But if Genetics is the one that locked in that Freya, he's not getting it away from him. He might be able to trade someone else on the team. Otherwise,
he has to bully his way to get it. I think based on
it's got to
lock-in
be
order,
Afro mid.
Genetics was the Morgan Le Fay lock-in, not necessarily like that's who he's
Oh,
playing,
it's
but that's who
MLF
he
jungle.
locked in.
It's MLF jungle. Yeah. Yeah.
Which means
Yeah, we're so back.
yeah, because it would have been Sot from right to left. It would have been Sot, Panitom, Pegon, Genetics, Netrioid.
Oh
it's
man,
solo to carry in.
it could be lame. This could be the lamest way for it to happen.
Okay.
If the Glads drag this to 55 minutes,
That would be
I
very lame.
just don't see them losing. I just can't see this draft losing to the Warriors draft unless the Glads get absolutely windshield wipered for the first like 15 minutes.
Now here's the hard question. How likely do you think it is that they get windshield wiper? This is a team like the Warriors like to play aggressive, and they have locked in aggressive.
I don't even know if they've locked in aggressive, really. I see the Anhur, and I understand
That
the
guy
Anhur
wants to fight.
Yeah, he wants to fight. I'm not 100% where that Anhur is going to be fighting at.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you with
So
anybody.
like,
The only thing I feel reasonably certain of is
oh,
Nemesis
Freya
and Zhong,
on her
'cause,
lane,
like,
maybe?
That makes sense.
Freya on her lane, Afro mid, MLF solo, Nem jungle. That's a gross lane. Whoop into pillar stun's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's like not. It's not. Yeah. Yeah, I got Glads. Diamond hands, fellas.
Diamond Hands, he's holding to the moon to see if the Glads will win this one, and Miff put his bets in there. Hopefully he doesn't let you astray. We'll find out in Game 1 with the casters.
Well, first we got to find out where everything is going on the Oni Warriors comp. Let's jump into Game 1 between these two teams. It's J-Max, Trelly, and Doug here for Game 1. And we'll not quite call exactly where everything was going position-wise. Missed two of them. Thanks to the Afro support with the On-Her mid. And a role swap for everybody.
Everyone, yep.
On the Oni Warriors team. Netrioid and Genetics just swapped spots in their lane. But Genetics has been wanting to play Freya for a long time. Anytime his team's been going up 2-0 earlier in the phase, he's like, I want to get Freya, I want to play Freya, I want to play Freya support. Now I'm going to get the chance to play Freya ADC.
Has he been talking about Freya ADC this whole time?
Not Freya,
yeah,
maybe.
He wanted to play Freya support. That's what I thought. And then he just finally gets his hands on it. And that goes, actually, I'll be supporting this game. You don't get a chance. We did see on Twitter, the casters didn't quite get a chance to check it out, but Sot did say, I will be debuting my SPL mid-career today. So the On-Her mid, expect to see some aggression there. At the very least, Kyrmi's got some targets for like first blood candidates, right? Just stepping forward and, looking for some extra kills. So I will be keeping my eyes on Kyrmi. This Awilix can dictate the pace of the early game for sure.
Panitom took so much damage. Panitom's not used to clearing that. He's used to solo clearing speed and then going over to the red buff to help out. He's not used to taking all that damage there. He's like, okay, I see why my soul laners are like half health walking in lane all the time.
Oh man, he doesn't
know.
He's got no clue.
He's going to take a lot of damage from Kana, walks up, he's hit by 2 abilities, and there goes pretty much all the duration of that first potion that he had popped for himself. Now, seeing the role swaps of the Warriors, it's going to be tough to really determine exactly how this game goes out that way. Kyrmi does go in with the blink, gets the feather step onto Pegon. Whoop on Snoopy on the opposite side here in the duo lane. Not going to be much follow-up from it from there, but again, not really knowing how the players play outside of their respective lanes. Comp-wise, at least as much as Miff was alluding to on the desk, great for the Warriors really early in the game. Way better for the Gladiators when we start getting to what does he call 55 minutes to drag it out to?
Yeah, I think he may have been exaggerating a bit, and as we see Kyrmi definitely getting ran down here. Do you have cooldowns, though, is the question. If not, Kyrmi should be able to juke for quite some time. SMITE is actually in some trouble as well.
Jangaru trying to turn it around. Kyrmi, though, dies from first blood, and Jangaru takes out Pegon for second. Jump in, but it's jump for jump beats. Use an SOT. He's got the shots dunked down in. Who cares about your enemy's beads when you just deal the entirety of their health bar? 2 kills, a double for the Oni Warriors and a first blood.
That's the difference maker right there, baby. That early Anhur damage SOT brings it to the table. I mean, Kyrmi jukes around for so long. The slice and dice was coming off cooldown, and if it did, probably goes down much earlier than that. But Pegon just didn't have the CDR, which means SOT had to stall for as long as possible to actually find 1 kill. Then Jangaru up down says, you know what, I'm risking it all. 1 mid laner's coming out of this with 2 kills. And that ends up being SOT. The Anhur. It's a great start to this game. You lose both beads, but hey, 2-0, not a bad look.
Now, for those who also, again, have not really been on Twitter and didn't notice, Snoopy's actually been here the entire time, shows up early, thinking he was first set, ended up taking a nice little pregame nap in the lobby beforehand, so maybe waking up a little bit. But also, in response to that, did see a tweet from Jack saying he's going to make him pay for getting him worried about that, thinking that he was supposed to be the first set. Didn't show up, so we might see a little bit of blood over on the duo lane side. Ult from Cxnnahh, with the blue buff stolen by the Gilded Gladiators. Able to keep that one out of the Warriors' pocket. Panitom going to be without the NP5, but SOT says, well, you can take me out of the lane, but I'll still walk over there occasionally. Didn't get anything from it. Just a blue buff invade for the Gladiators, and then their own buff secured for themselves.
Yeah, now Panitom knows the struggle of what happens when your jungler's a little bit late to blue buff. You don't even get it. SOT tries to make the rotation. A little bit too little, too late, so we do see aggression on the right side of the map at the very least. Doesn't seem like the Oni Warriors want Panitom to get behind. He's just unfortunately ending up behind because of better burst and good jungle rotation. Just what Kyrmi can provide on this Awilix. I expect to see some early buff clear, early Gold Fury pulls though, J-Mac. It's pretty early on in the game so far, but pretty much the second it spawns in, I want to see one of these teams going for a pull.
Friends to his pop sprint as well. Snoopy comes out of this Aphrodite, immediately throws Supernova and ultimate from Netrioid to get away from the pluck from Jake. Meanwhile, right side could be a kill towards Khan. He's already used his abilities, healing up a bit, but Pegon showing up. Slice and Dice gets beads out. Will there be a continued dive under the tower? There will be. Pegon takes one. We're on the opposite side of the map. It's a kill onto Netrioid. Snoopy and Jake able to pick up 1 for the Gladiators in trade.
Yep, Kyrmi picks up the assist, so was nearby. Looks like you needed the gravity surge to pull that kill, just because Netrioid already used Undying Love. Didn't have any other way to try and survive there. But Cxnnahh lost the beads and the dive underneath that tier 1 tower. I was a little bit shocked at how much damage Pegon actually brings there with that Atalanta's bow start. Gonna help out, try and match that pace of Kyrmi so far in this early game. Been a part of a little bit of extra kills as well. That's awesome, Jake. Make sure that genetics not gonna be backing anywhere near the crocodile. Just gonna be annoyance over in duo lane, but I've been loving the sparks flying so far, J-Mac. 5 minutes in, 5 kills so far. I expect those numbers to pick up.
It's for the prophetic stack, so it was. Stop the back, get the stack. Easy peasy for awesome Jake. Pegon again on the right side of the map. Cxnnahh not gonna be able to secure the cooldown buff. That one picked up by the Warriors. So we still see pressure up in the duo lane. Whoops from Genetics have been on point, so we know he's been at least practicing the Freya banishes. Whether that was for the support or for his debut as an SPL ADC, TBD. Purple buff invade, though, by the Gladiators. Gonna walk up, try to take this one away with Kyrmi nearby. Another guaranteed buff invade. Kyrmi's been all over this map. Stole blue buff, now stole purple buff. Kind of happy because he got to secure his own buff from being stolen away.
Over the wall. Gotta watch out for that burst damage. Pegon just did not have it. Gold Fury spawned in. No one's looked towards it yet like I wanted. Not necessarily because any team has like the propensity to pull a Gold Fury, just because it seems like that kind of game where both teams are going to look towards it. If anything, Genetics hasn't even backed yet. My man's got full build. Cxnnahh getting low. Should be able to swallow some corpses here, but isn't going for it. The stun. Make sure. Oh, got him! The rage! I didn't think he had the rage for it. Panitom does get it. Cxnnahh didn't eat any of his corpses. He didn't try to heal at all.
I think he got pushed away from with the Dragonflight from Panitom, prevents the heals from then. Panitom does get stunned. SOT with the knockup. Jangaru does have his leap to get away, but Pegon's going to use his ult, dive in. Beads are already used. One more shot will do so, but it's a turnaround right back on. Jangaru, credit for the kill of Bluestone Tick. I believe stealing that one away from Kyrmi to secure it, but it will be another 1-for-1 trade in mid. Mid laner of the Gladiators, out for the jungler of the Warriors.
Man, that's a long dive as well. I mean, I thought that Jangaru would just be able to jump away and that'd be the end of the gank, but really wanted their chance at the kill. They pick it up, but Kyrmi's nearby. Make sure to trade out the mid laner's life, and Jangaru is immediately avenged by himself with that Bluestone Tick. So 2-2 for the Anhur, for the Ullr. 2-0 for the Anhur, I should say. As once again, Snoopy's being aggressed upon. Let's see how much damage they have for him. Kyrmi's on the way.
Ultimate used by Snoopy. Kyrmi there to play bailout. Does get the knockup. Pulls Netrioid back and gets the Undying Love. Does he have enough follow? No, with Pegon showing up. Kyrmi's got to bail out, but Snoopy's stuck around, and Pegon punishes him, takes him down. Whoop is good onto Jangaru, now in danger. Able to jump over the wall and turn and burn back to Jake, who does have that charge prey, able to dash back to safety. Oh, by the way, Awesome Jake's level 8. Cxnnahh just now getting to that level 8. It's been good farm for the Glads in duo. But the drop of Snoopy and of Jangaru, Pegon kept it going. But Kyrmi gonna punish him right after, another 1-for-1.
Yeah, Pegon consistently looking for Jangaru, and Kyrmi is always nearby to ready to stop that aggression immediately. Wow, I didn't even notice. Cxnnahh goes first item Typhon's Fang. I saw the tiny trinket. You assume it's going to be Pythags. Ends up just getting percent pen online as quickly as possible. Maybe immediately into the Telkine just to get the benefit from that lifesteal. Either way, Freya hasn't been doing too much damage yet. This isn't really the strong suit of Freya, the early boxing.
He sprinted for the purple to get it away.
Hey, they zoomed on out of there, man. That's how you confirm your purple buff. You sprint away from anyone who wants to steal it.
I've never seen someone sprint to pull purple away that fast before, but Oni Warriors get just that. Able to confirm their buff for themselves, not allow Kyrmi to try and step up for a steal, or for Jake and Snoopy try and take that one away. Level 9s now for both duo lanes. It's where presumably most of the action's been taking place, but if you at least look where all the kills have been allocated towards, it's these mid laners and junglers where all the dying has happened, has really been at the mid portion of that map. The one kill in solo, that was great for Pegon. Now going to be a stun onto him, unfortunately, fighting into an Opwash. Throws out Fleeting Breath. That shield ends up being a detriment to you.
Yep, you don't want to be anywhere near the Outwash with the Nemesis, unfortunately. Pegon was like, maybe we can kill. The second you start hearing that noise, you're like, all right, kill's over. I'm sorry I came over here. I'm just going to be going for totems at this point.
Wait, second item Rage?
Yes, I want his Kritsky's online, man. And the Gladiators want a Gold Fury. No one's even close to this. Pegon's the closest nearby. I don't think he gets here in time. That's an easy Fury for the Gilded Gladiators.
Good call by the Glads. Catch the Warriors unaware, able to sneak away a Gold Fury from the #1 team in their division. Remember, this is a battle of the top seed versus the bottom seed of the same division. Pulled back by Kyrmi. Netrioid still holding on to ultimate that whole time. Uses it, goes for the heal, but he's taking too much damage. Kyrmi goes on to a killing spree, and now it could be a turn back from the Oni Warriors. Dash in by Pegon, waiting to drip fish out for Snoopy. All from Cxnnahh's not quite enough, but Pegon's got the follow-up damage. The Oni Warriors now with 8 kills, and it could be more. SOT is showing up, jump on a Jangaru, but now Kyrmi is here to turn it into a 2v1, and SoloOrTroll can't even channel the entirety of the ultimate before he goes down. Pegon back, a new 2v1, but Pegon's losing this one too. Stop walking in 2v1 against the Glads. They're just going to win them.
Yeah, there was no form of damage there. I mean, you could tell Pegon really wanted to get his shield off. Beads just come off cooldown. Sot got 0 crits there, no rage stacks. And now Jangaru's got a 2-level lead over SOT in the mid lane. Oni Warriors. Questionable plays being had here. And I noticed Cxnnahh got like 8 auto attacks just for absolute free onto Snoopy and Awesome Jake. Did no sort of damage. This build is not swinging. I was going to let him cook. Man, it is going to be a while before he does any sort of damage.
And he's going defense.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Typhons is not it, and the breastplate also not it. It's going to take a while before he's able to swing.
when he was doing, the Hebo and the Freya, support style of play before, he was doing that before everybody was building the Pythags in that first slot. He was becoming the support through that item. Now when it's meta and everybody else is building it, does he just not want anything to do with it? I don't get it.
I couldn't tell you.
He was ahead of the curve, now he's behind it.
Yep.
How did that happen? How did you create the meta and then simultaneously just fall away from it?
Well, the man wants he wants to be doing what everyone else isn't. If that's the case, it's working out. I'm just saying, it's going to be a while before Genetics starts threatening anyone with damage. Snoopy, not only does he have the auto attack damage from the Telekind, he's also got decent burst with Supernova, as you would expect from a Soul. You've got slipperiness with this Apparate. It's just, you're going to be getting more value from the Soul pick at the moment. But Genetics, he's scaling, all right? He's got his breastplate online. Now he's going to start going into the rings. That's when this Freya starts to be a threat.
First beacon, capped by the Gladiators. Jangaru tries to go for the Axe Toss on Sot, misses out. Jake dashes in, doesn't connect the pluck. On to Sot. He'll be able to jump under that tier 1 tower back to safety. Gotta really highlight Jangaru's farm game this time around. Level 15 already, only 12.5 minutes in. A 2-level lead over SoloOrTroll. Jangaru's been popping off this game. Even though he's got 3 deaths in that column, he's been hitting some crazy combos, and he's just been really farming well.
They've just been conveyor belt giving him free kills, man. He's been a part of 5 so far. Everyone just wants to try and fight this Ullr. And even if he does die, he's probably trading out his life, which ends up being worthwhile. And as you said, the farm game has been very nice as well. I want to see more 1v1s between Jangaru and Sot. At the moment, Jangaru gets the better end of those trades. For absolute free, 3 items to 2, and one of them is a 0-stack Rage. Yeah, I'm thinking Jangaru's can get the better end of the majority of those trades. But since then, I haven't seen Panitom get active at all, right? Morgan Le Fay has been stuck in solo lane. I want to see these solo laners rotate out. Cxnnahh would also like to get his hands dirty, just hasn't had the opportunity to do so.
Jeez. Full combo on Sot, down to 20% health. Blink in by Jake to try and get that pluck, but it's immuned out by Netrioid's ult. And Genetics,
oh, he's choking.
He's slamming. Not very hard, but he's slamming more like his fist against the desk at this point. It feels like he's hitting a brick wall trying to deal damage to Jake.
I did not even notice the autos were connecting. Just because they did no sort of damage. And he makes the rotation over, though. I mean, hey, there's no Freya over in left lane. You'd think Snoopy would be able to grab the tier 1. Just decides to go for the shield buff instead. Maybe still get to the tower if Genetics can't get here in time. But it looked like the team was worried about the Pyromancer, so the Oni Warriors called him over. And still, Jangaru is half-healthing just anyone that steps up to him.
Pluck missed by Jake. Sot Netrioid stay on the ground. Pegon's there. Axe Toss connects on him. They want to kill Jangaru. He's been the problem for the Warriors to deal with. He's able to jump away, but Pegon able to chase him down. Xnnah's already dropped the ultimate, so there's nowhere for Pegon to run. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Oh, it's Snoopy on the way. Dragonflight connected by Panitom. Does keep Snoopy back for the time being. And it may just be fizzling out at that 1-for-1, but the Gilded Gladiators, they're in position to go for Pyromancer. Gonna take him a little bit to drop this one down, but Kyrmi's still alive, hitting fairly hard on the Awilix. They'll guarantee the 1-for-1 trade, but also an objective.
Yeah, the Oni Warriors going for their pull, but you can tell the Gilded Gladiators have vision on this. The second the Oni Warriors group up towards the Oni Fury, it's immediately called out. The Warriors can't go for the consolation prize, which would have been a better prize in that regard, but the Gilded Gladiators knew. They had vision, was not going to be snuck from them. And that's going to be it. The Oni Warriors get nothing in return. 5,000 gold down. So far, I mean, the only thing going for the Oni Warriors here has been some decent farm throughout the map, but the fact that Pegon consistently gets a kill before he dies.
Gotta go ahead and clear out the totem for the time being. Also gotta point out that 2 fights ago, Genetics is able to rotate to a fight in right jungle before Panitom does. Maybe questionable how long Panitom's just sitting in the lane without rotating. Does make it to the last fight, the most recent one. Just really hasn't been getting as involved as the action's not immediately in his lane so far. And with how strong Morgan Le Fay's solo has been, gotta agree with you. I'd love to have seen him get a little bit more beads. Force on a Cxnnahh, 3-man rotation to try and kill the Alposh. No ultimate for Cxnnahh, but Impale doesn't get the stun, doesn't hit. Maybe where Sot had wanted to. Pegon jumped on by Jangaru, and Jake jump in place for Jangaru. Losing out on the poke, but Jake's got the follow-up damage after. Pegon dropped down The Gilded Gladiators now tie up the kills 9-9. They might be looking for more, though. Jake goes in, doesn't get the distance on the plug, but gets the knockup to get the ultimate away from Netrioid, but he's getting body blocked. Snoopy slows him down, and it's another plug back in. Netrioid's stuck in place, and the Gladiators get Kyrmi on a rampage.
Yep, not done yet. The Gilded Gladiators on the right side of the map are backing up towards the Fire Giant, and they're going to go in for the pull here. Jake already tanking it up. SOT nearby trying to defend. Steal attempt is the best you got because I don't see too many low health bars.
Desert's Fury's SOT's best chance, but he won't even get a chance to use it. May not have realized how fast the burn was from the Glads. A 1645 Fire Giant for the Gilded Gladiators now puts them at a 6,600 gold lead this early in the game. The Gilded Gladiators are just kind of slamming right now.
I mean, Genetics has been split pushing for a solid 3 minutes, and you know what he's done with the split push?
One tower?
I mean, yeah, but I just want to see the, a Shoguns. That's what he's done with this. That's what he's going towards. That's going to be the big upgrade at the end of this split push, is going to be more magical defense. So
who's doing damage on this team?
Pegon's been doing damage. That's pretty cool.
Sot and Pegon.
I mean, Panitom, I'm sure, has got, like, solo lane damage. You know, he pokes a lot.
Yeah.
That's pretty nifty.
Is your world crumbling?
That's all I got.
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I thought we would have just, look, if you're gonna build the Freya support, why not just run Freya's support? I don't know. We'll see if it comes to fruition a little bit later in the games. As it's the Gilded Gladiators pushing up left side tier 2 tower with the help of a soul. That'll be pretty easy for the Gladiators to do so. No fear to go back to. They already dealt with that one just prior. It's been an objective-minded game now for the Gladiators. They work on tier 2 tower in mid. For the Warriors in mid, Genetics inside the jungle, kind of slowed down by the pillar. Jake trying to play peel, just throw Pegon back. Jangaru misses the axe toss, but Jake's at half HP, doesn't want to push too far forward. Needs to resustain with this Fire Giant buff.
Yeah, Kyrmi was nearby in the jungle, didn't end up pushing forward, had the gravity surge, but didn't need a pull opportunity just yet. It's going to keep farming. I think that's going to be a smart look. Just try and hit level 20. Whereas the Oni Warriors are around. It looks like they are looking for a fight if possible. Panitom stepping forward. He's got Blink. Keep your eyes on the Morgan Le Fay to possibly start an engagement here. It's actually awesome. Jake who blinks forward.
Let's get the Blink. Tail whip on a 2, but it's a whoop on a 2 as well. The banish is good from Genetics to slow down this team fight. But Kyrmi's already pushed up that tier 1. He's now making his way to this fight, but just feels like it would have been great to have had Kyrmi there when Jake goes for the Blink tail. There's 2 ideal targets to pull back. Does open up Pyromancer, so the Gladiators do get something out of this fight. It's another objective. Kana's got ult, and that's the end of the attempted pushback from the Warriors.
Yeah, Kana just drops the ult to try and split up the team fight. Recognizes, hey, I've got plenty of CDR. Better safe than just sorry, right? I might as well just drop the Crips for this moment and grab themselves a Runic Bomb over towards Kyrmi. And the Gilded Gladiators have about a minute left on this Fire Giant push. You got 2 more tier 2 towers to try and go through. Now would be a great time to go in. If you think about it, Genetics is going to have not any sort of damage item in the meantime. Trying to push before those rings get online is definitely going to be your best option. And that is what the Gilded Gladiators are planning. They're stepping forward. Sure, Kana's over and right, but Awesome Jake has been going in consistently, and he's not done yet.
Snoopy is melting that tower. It's almost down. Whoop by Genetics, but his damage is not quite there for the follow-up. Jake's trying to get back out. Panitom shows up, throws out the ultimate, but it's only going to hit a couple of players individually. Jake wanting that ideal pluck target, but under the tower, not a great one. Beads forced out of SOT for the ult out of Kyrmi. He's not going to have that initial pull back. All it takes, though, is one person to step in the tower, one minion, and that tier 2 crumbles. Snoopy getting the structure damage out there for the team.
I'm going to back up. That should be the last push of this Fire Giant. Primal Fury is going to be spawning in here soon. And actually, Pegon's nearby. Recognizes there's at least 2 near him. Because he hears those sound effects. So does not go forward. But the Oni Warriors themselves are all sieging for it. They want to fight, J-Mag. They don't have the damage. They don't have the aggressive positioning. But they still want to go in, which I can respect. Doesn't seem like a fight would go well for them, but they're still trying to find one if they can.
It's a 9,000 gold difference between the 2 teams. Only a single tier 2 tower left for the Gilded Gladiators to knock down over in solo lane. already got a bit of its damage notched in by Kyrmi earlier before he rotated towards mid. Level 20 still not cheap for anybody on the Warriors just yet. Meanwhile, 2 of the Gladiators have theirs and starter items upgraded for both Kyrmi and Cxnnahh.
How did Jangaru not hit 20 first?
That's the most puzzling part, because he was like level 15 or 16 by like 13 minutes, and then Kyrmi has just been like hyper farming in jungle and lane and snuck his way to 20 before anybody else.
It's level 20. Cxnnahh hits level 20 just now. Jangaru hits level 20, so upgraded starter items all coming through for the top 3 of the Glads. But Fire Giant has spawned in. Looks like the Gilded Gladiators are trying to take everything off the map first. So Primal Fury going to be the first on the chopping block for Snoopy to pick up. And the Oni Warriors are around. And they've got a full grouping near Fire Giant just in case they have to try and fight for it. So far it's been Cxnnahh dropping the ultimate, just emptying the crypts and everyone running away, right? There hasn't been much follow-up there. The Oni Warriors don't seem to want to stick around once that ult gets dropped smartly. So do they go in for a Fire Giant fight? I assume yes. But what's your best steal attempt? I mean, some Panitom abilities, right? The CC will help because Runic Bomb is only available for Kyrmi. Cxnnahh, Snoopy have insane bursts. Even Jangaru throw into that conversation. There's not too much to really go in for unless you're looking to fight after the Fire Giant.
I mean, maybe a Desert's Fury, one of the spears steals it away, but you're still fighting. What's that, maybe 200 damage from a spear? Versus 200 damage from any individual basic attack from Snoopy at that point, but the Warriors did start fire. Took down to about 3/4 HP before giving that up when Jake walks up. Now it's the Gladiators stepping into the Fire Giant pit. There is a ward there for the Oni Warriors, so they know that this one's being started up. The Gladiators aren't even going to be aware that the Warriors decided to head over to Pyromancer instead. Will now get the sound cue, so you're talking about something that's secure, the Warriors lacking. Now with the Runic Bomb in pocket for Genetics, gives them at least a fighting chance.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like the Gilded Gladiators want to go for a 50-50. If anything, they're just pushing up tier 2 tower now. They will have some time. Sot isn't capturing the Titan, so that's not going to be sent out once this beacon goes down. They're just going to trade out tier 2 towers, it looks like.
It's going to be a 4 versus 5 if a fight does end up breaking out. SOT split push tier 1 and tier 2. Panitom's already used his ultimate. Pegon is looping around the back. The Oni Warriors trying to collapse into the fight, but Pegon's all by himself. There's not much fight to be had. Meanwhile, Sot will just go ahead and split push the mid Phoenix. Will he actually win that battle against the bird or not? Has to back away, wait for the next minion wave to come in. Meanwhile, the Gladiators will head straight to the Fire Giant and take that objective.
Finally, Phoenix goes down. Looks like that was the Oni Warriors' plan. They've opened up a way to end the game if they somehow win a team fight. Have not been close to winning a team fight, though. Not yet. As it seems like, yeah, the Titans haven't been unleashed yet, so the Oni Warriors can try and defend 4v5 while Pegon's gone over on right bird. And fire minions aren't going to be a big deal. The Gilded Gladiators have some time to step forward here. Once Cxnnahh drops the ultimate, this should go down pretty easily.
Still 4 for another 6 seconds. Pegon won't have ultimate when he comes back up. Jake stunned under the tower, and they empty the crypts by Cxnnahh to zone away. The Phoenix is melting. Genetics lost his beads, so a good pluck from Awesome Jake. And it's now a Phoenix for the Gilded Gladiators. Right side, not going to even out what went down in mid, but can regroup if need be. But Genetics, or I should say Awesome Jake, he's got to get some of his HP back. Took quite a lot more than he'd hoped for under that bird.
Yep, got to retreat. Finally now looks like Jangaru is going to capture the beacon. That's going to unleash these Titans. Left lane would be a good place to send them out and help out the Gilded Gladiators. They have one more tier 2 tower on their side. Plus, they need to go for the Phoenix, but actually the Warriors show up. And I let that one go for free. They're going to put a little bit of capture point towards the beacon. But then they decide, you know, we can't step forward here. Awesome Jake's been pretty on point. Beads are a rare commodity here for the Oni Warriors, so I can understand not wanting to get too aggressive near Jake, where Pegon is just asking someone to go for this purple buff.
He's begging at this
point. He wants a 1v1. Someone fight Pegon. They're not going to give it to him. No one's going to walk up.
Now he'll head back to base. Titans will unleash in left. Gives the Gladiators an opportunity to now push up mid, try and even out this Phoenix that SOT took. Ultimate back up for Cxnnahh. It's what he used to help zone the Warriors Alpha Phoenix last time. Jake walks up the Oni Warriors, standing their ground, but it's a pull back for Genetics, and he is dead the moment he hits the ground. Snoopy, credit for the kill, but it's Jake and Kyrmi setting it up. Jake goes back in once more. Kyrmi gets away from SOT. The Phoenix goes down. The Gilded Gladiators got everything they wanted and more. 1 kill and 1 more bird down.
Are they done, though, is the question, or did the Gilded Gladiators group up and push left? They've got 1:30 left on Fire Giant, and Awesome Jake's looking a little bit worse for wear. Could just wait for Fire Giant to regen, get some Sickening Strike procs, and continue going up left, but Awesome Jake looks like he does want to go back to base. The Gilded Gladiators are so far ahead that I would not hate them just pushing up left with a Titan. I mean, you've got the damage, you've got the tank stats, you've got the AoE, and more specifically, you have no threats on the enemy team. There's no one on the Oni Warriors that is scared anymore.
I mean, Genetics was a half tank, and we saw what just happened to him when he gets pulled in. He becomes no tank, no life, no HP, nothing. And now the Titan's still heading down left. Everybody, except for Jake, grouping up that direction. He's keeping eyes on Sot and the rest of the Warriors, who will take Pyromancer. The Gladiators are already pushing up left. Just now, a couple of players getting back, but they don't really have their tank to hold in and defend against this bird, to tank up the aggro for it. Kana's got his ultimate again if need be, but the bird is already gone. That's all 3 Phoenixes down for the Warriors.
All 3 Phoenixes, full health Titan. Doesn't seem like the Gilded Gladiators are leaving just yet. Awesome Jake, if anything, is going for a flank. But here come the Oni Warriors. They're sieging forward.
He has already used the ultimate. Jangaru's in danger. Him and Kyrmi both able to jump away. Ultimate from Genetics. He does connect, and it's 2 now for the Oni Warriors. Snoopy in a bit of danger, but a good pluck from Jake. Slows things down. Kyrmi takes him down. It's now 3 versus 4 because Pegon is wrapped back around. Kyrmi jumps away. Pushed down. It's Pegon getting the kill on Snoopy. Kyrmi only has his last few ticks of HP, and Sot takes him down. That is 4 gone from the Gilded Gladiators. Jake just buying time for the minions and for the Titan to get some damage, but Jake is just gonna stand by and wait. The Oni Warriors, do they have enough damage? They gotta kill him so they can stop this, because the Titans are just beating each other down. Half HP. Oh, never mind. It's done. It's just GG.
Yeah, that's why Jake was sitting by. He was stalling. He knew the Titan was full HP. You gotta go back and deal with the enemy Titan. And Jake said, you know what? If you guys aren't gonna kill me, you can sit here all you want, but that Titan eventually is.
I got mixed up there for a sec. Which Titan was the one truly dying? Turns out it was the Gilded Gladiators Titan that was winning that fight. Good stall by the Gilded Gladiators. They lost that fight handily. That game,
oh yeah.
If it weren't for that Titan marching in, we could have been going another 5, maybe 10 minutes off a game like that, because it was a good fight back from the Warriors. But unfortunately for the Warriors, they took a little too long to win that fight, and the Titans able to get the brunt of the work done.
Yeah, because Genetics got his 2nd ring. He went from Demonic into Hastened, and he said, let's go. I'm ready to actually do some damage so far this game. Pegon has a decent wraparound, but it didn't matter. The game was way too far gone at that point. I didn't see many winning lanes. Kyrmi absolutely dominated in the jungle. Anytime Kana showed up and dropped that ultimate, the team fight stopped. There wasn't many answers for what the Gilded Gladiators were doing.
So if the minions win a game, we call those the winions.
Yeah.
But if the Titan wins the game, what do we call it? The Winton?
If you could.
I don't know.
I wouldn't.
Give us some suggestions on what you call a Titan winning the game for you while we go ahead and take it to a quick break. When we come back, game 2 between the Gladiators and the Warriors.
One, two, three, let's go.
That's right, January 12th through 14th. If you can't join us there, well, I'm sorry to hear it. I know, Myth, that video reminded me of a few things that we did that I admittedly have kind of blanked because the Energy of Worlds took it from me, which is the actual throwing of like T-shirts, plushies, and stuff into the crowd. So if you're going to be there,
Belt buckles,
look forward to
belts,
that belt,
suspenders,
into someone's
just metal.
like head. Apparently,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna. I think we might avoid that one this
jackets,
time.
I think, as well. Yeah.
I don't remember, but I do remember the merch part. That's what matters. Of course, if you're going to be there, that's something to look forward to. If you're not going to be there, maybe bring a piece of Worlds home with you. You can go to shop.highroadstudios.com/SWC. It's 68 days away, so get yourself some of the merchandise to feel like you're there, represent whether it's just the Worlds merch and your favorite game, or if you want to, of course, team merch. There's some team shirts on there, some of which may be alluding to things that have not yet been announced yet, and maybe will be announced in, say, like a patch notes or I guess an update show that happens, say, this upcoming Wednesday, which is the 8th. And if you're going to want to be there, you should, to watch that and figure out what's going to be, as well as, again, supporting everybody. Myth, you were rooting for the Gladiators.
Well, no, hold
Actively.
on. I am not rooting for anybody. Here's the thing about me.
You read the script.
I don't care who wins anything ever,
Unless
so
it's
long
you.
as it's entertaining or if it's me.
Oh, okay, so as long as it's entertaining, would you qualify? What would you? You know what? Instead of asking that question, which is leading the witness, I'll just ask, what would you qualify that game as?
Entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. So you didn't care who wins because it was entertaining. Therefore, goes well. I don't know if you read the script. Don't know how you figured it out. Maybe it's just that big analytical brain.
Yeah, I
doing
looked at
all
the
that
drafts.
knowledge. Yeah, you. I'm assuming that when we saw the player swaps as well, it maybe didn't bolster up much hope in the Warriors. High kill count game. Now, maybe not as big of a runaway as the Gladiators would have liked, at least in terms of kills. When it comes down to terms of, let's say, gold and probably like actual control of the game, well, they had that part going for them pretty well. And then Mifflin, it still ends up being a pretty close call at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, this game was starting to get a little bit dangerous for my liking. Felt like the Oni Warriors were maybe 1 or 2 items away from being able to fight their way back in, but ran into the brick wall that is we drafted just a stinky composition and could not do it. It is worth noting, though, that in spite of it, 5 total role swaps, not a single person playing their role in the Oni Warriors, some roles still looked pretty good. Notably, Pegon out of the jungle on Nemesis stays involved. That guy was AFK brain, not a single thought, just head empty jungling. And I loved every second of it. He was dashing in, he was slicing, dicing, he was invading, but I don't think a single bit of it was calculated. I liked what Panitom's up to. Panitom somehow making an argument for himself as best on team in another role, 1-0-5 Undying. Knocks down Cxnnahh, I believe, in a 1v1, which is just ridiculous. You wouldn't expect Opwash to die just about ever, especially with that build, but still finds a way to do so. Otherwise, Kyrmi, legacy game for him, 7-2-5 on the Awilix, slows down in the mid, speeds things up in the late, and then Jangaru, maybe a quieter KDA, but gets involved in the damage dealing.
It looks interesting for the Warriors, solid for the Gladiators. And Mifflin, they're one step towards maybe a goal of putting a 1 in that win column. Granted, they have to take 2 more steps to get there, and those are some big steps when you're up against the Warriors. The Warriors have to take 3 if they want to win this one. Keeps it pretty much as standard as it was, except we're now like 30 minutes later than when they started. We'll find out, I guess, whether or not they go for it. Now, here's the question.
Yep.
You've mentioned how you didn't like the draft.
Draft was so bad.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was bad.
If they go for a, let's call it more serious quote-unquote draft, locking in more meta gods, but kept the role swaps, do you think that would level out the playing field a little bit more for the Warriors?
If they go for a 100% serious draft phase and keep the role swaps, 3-1 Oni Warriors. What I think we're going to get is an almost serious draft phase, keep the role swaps, take an L, and then swap back to just playing Oni Warriors gameplay, and then maybe they take it in 5. That might be my overall prediction for the set. We'll get an idea of it as P's and B's develop. But if I had to guess, that's probably where we're at.
So you're anticipating Game 5.
And you know what? A semi-serious draft with role swap, I'd give them decent odds.
Like, are you pushing 70-30, or are you...
I'm thinking maybe 60-40 Warriors.
Okay.
If 3 out of 5 picks are just real.
Just real. Well, like, they had some real-ish picks, right? Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah, Morgan Le Fay solo. That's 1.
Yeah, they only had the 1, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember, I was like, Aphrodite, but that's like a pick for teams that mostly aren't doing well with her, honestly, lately.
Yep.
So, we'll find out. Did win some earlier for the Dragons. That's all that matters. I think in the Afro column. Opwash, Sobek, Charon banned by the Warriors. Their first pick here in Game 2. Chertabog, Athena, Ullr banned by the Gladiators. Leaving open things like the Raijin,
Yemoja.
Other various good gods. How do you think Netrioid's Yemoja is?
Oh, man.
The Hounds got to play it a lot the other day.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Yemoja, for anyone besides support mains, probably just real not good. And then even amongst support mains, a lot of them just real not good. Soul Yemoja together for the Gilded Gladiators would be a great start to this draft and a smart answer to the pressure that Raijin should afford the Oni Warriors, which is leaning towards a more serious draft already.
You say that, but then it'll be like Raijin Jungle.
And you know what? Still better.
Okay. than the Nemesis? Or just in general, just better than whatever the comp they had put together.
There's just a Raijin, and,
Yeah.
and I've seen enough of that.
Intrinsically, that just makes it better. Soul Yemoja for the Gladiators. Like you said, a very good answer. Very good top 2. I would even wager maybe better than their last top 2, considering Sobek was up there.
Oh. Okay, hold on.
Khepri.
Yeah, that's...
Myth.
This does not bode well.
I might say, if the Warriors are going back to their normal style,
Yeah.
that they are unhappy with losing that game.
No, the Warriors surely are not upset with drafting a single frontline Nemesis non-tank dive and then getting trounced on map. That can't be an issue. They surely saw that coming with the previous draft. Daji, 3rd overall for the Gilded Gladiators. I mean, CC immunity for both Raijin and Anhur means the Palau might struggle a little bit to find value. Generally, single target DPS means Khepri will have an easier time selecting his target. But if the role swaps are still there, who's to say? Maybe Netrioid just not a Khepri player.
I'm going to be real with him.
Uh-huh.
At base, you just got to hit 4.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And you don't need... All these Khepris, like, I got to do it frame 1, got to get the perfect revive. No, dude, just hit it.
Just hit it.
Just do it early.
Turns out you actually can't... Well, you can't miss it in the sense that you can't, like, fire it and not connect with a player.
It's hitting somebody.
You can miss it in the sense that that dude just stole it from who you were trying to save, and now
you
you're
didn't
getting
miss.
flamed
It was
in
stolen.
chat.
Yeah, it was someone else.
Yeah.
Not our fault.
Could never be. Lancelot Thor banned out by the Gladiators after the go dodgy. I'm going to tell you, the dodgy pick, maybe not something that we're seeing too often. Kyrmi rocked the world with it not even a few weeks ago. Last week, I think he went, 12-5? Got a quadra kill. He was pretty solid on that. They lock in Cthulhu alongside it. Morgan, Le Fay, and the Ullr locked away by the Warriors in their ban phase. Do you like the Cthulhu?
I'm a pretty big Cthulhu
Is that a happy omen?
I'm a pretty big Cthulhu hater.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest. And if they are, the Oni Warriors, still sticking to their role swaps, Pegon might just run Nemesis again. Wouldn't be the worst thing into Cthulhu. Was one of those OG answers. Hercules has a good landing phase into the Cthulhu. You're not really going to struggle in that 1v1. Can probably just keep him in tower for the first 10 or so levels. So we'll see. Ixchel Hover. Are we looking at a Herc jungle? And if it is Herc jungle, vote Warriors. Because Herc jungle is ridiculously good and just entirely slept on. Great ganks, good damage output, decent scaling. Don't need to slot too much CDR because of Warrior passive. Oh, hell. Okay. Raijin solo, Herc jungle, on her Khepri lane, Hell mid, run it down, cleanse for Palau. Don't have great answers to River's Rebuke, but that's what Phantom Shell exists for. Are the Glad's going to run the Morgan? If yes, get slammed by Hercules. If no, why Cthulhu? I'm into it. I'm into it. Vote Warriors.
Now, do you still lean that way if it's role swaps, or do you only lean that way if they're where they're supposed to be?
No,
Who was where?
I'm talking role swaps. I'm looking at
Panitom
drafts.
was solo, so Panitom in that case would have Raijin.
Yeah.
You'd have Hercules by Pegon. Pegon's a jungler anyway, even when he's playing mid.
That's
so
right.
That's not even a role swap. Who am I missing here? Genetics and Netrioid just swapped in lane, so
That's
that'd
right.
be
You're missing one guy.
Sot, who was playing mid.
Correct.
Right. So Sot Hell.
I'm thinking so. But also they could be going a little silly goofy. Like
They
is
were
that-
laughing a second ago. Genetics looks a little more zoned in.
This is ooh. Excuse me? Right.
Dodgy mid.
You know, I actually had a
Phantom mid?
conversation with Genetics about this matchup. I was like, Genetics, you know, undefeated on the Khepri, haven't played against an Execute yet.
Yeah.
You think maybe that's why? He said, doesn't matter. Executes will not work against my Khepri. That's what he said to me. I said, Genetics, please elaborate. Because that's, you know, I've read the tool tips.
Yeah.
I know what Scarab's Blessing does and how to counter it. And he said, you're just going to have to wait and see. So, I mean, I don't know that we got Genetics Khepri here, but we'll at least get to see the matchup.
I was going to say, you might still be waiting. Because based on what you just said, works against his Khepri.
Doesn't
right?
work against his Khepri.
Doesn't, but like, but it's his specific
Yeah.
Khepri. This might not be his Khepri, so maybe it's gonna work wonders. Where's he going though? Where's the Is Thana mid? Dodgy mid?
Soul Yemoja lane.
Soul mid, and then Thanatos carry.
Ooh, ooh, man, the Gilded Gladiators sure got their one, huh? I mean, yeah, man. They it went straight to their heads. They have not been here before. Okay, Thanatos is surely going somewhere.
I also keep seeing several Warriors members hold up 3, and I can't say if they're. I can't tell if it's.
Yo, no way Oxy just pointed out something in the notes like he prepared for this. No way he holds the notes up to Pan. What relevant information could be in that tome? There's no way. What are they looking at? If we got a cam on them, they're watching like, I don't know. What's it called? Baby Shark? No Sugar Johnny? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, just like random like YouTube kids.
Yeah,
shows.
I think so. That's the vibe I'm getting.
They're having a lot of fun, whatever it is. Genetics is out of seat.
Man, he is really locking in on something bottom left side of that screen. And Panitom is loving it.
This might be answering the who's the clown, who's the jokester, and I think you might have been on the money. I think it might be Genetics.
I don't know. The clown often laughs first, and Panitom was yucking it up.
Good point. Man, the fact that Oxy tapped his notebook is gonna live rent free because I wonder what he had written down.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna steal it from him. I know where the coach booth is. He's gonna vacate for a second. I'm gonna read that book. I'm gonna come back. It's probably like a death note. Like what? I read the book. It just says Richard Lee, and that's all it says.
I can't say this directly, so I don't click on them as much anymore, right? Because I like the element of surprise.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get the spoilers written out, and I can't read it directly, but it just says Oni is expletive deleted. Have fun.
Oh,
So
okay, nice.
have fun, J Mac and
Redacted.
Shelly, as we try to figure out what this means in game 2.
Well, I hope we get to have a little bit of fun. Hope the players are having a little bit of fun. We saw some of that in game 1. Let's see what we get in game 2. It will be the dodgy mid for Jangaru. Kyrmi taking the Thanatos. Everything else we expect for the Gladiators. And a good shout for Miff to figure out exactly where the Oni Warriors composition is going to be going. But another round of role swaps. SOT said, all right, well, my mid debut wasn't great. What about my support debut now? As he takes the Khepri along with Pegon into the duo lane. We do have the Twitch poll, 69-31 in favor of the Oni Warriors. I don't know if anybody in the chat heard Gore walk by, point right next to me, and just go, Nice. That's it.
Well, if they didn't hear, now they know.
Now they know.
Now they know.
Peel back the curtain.
A little bit. So we get to see Panitom, the only one not running back his role, right? I mean the other way around. The only one actually running back his role. Panitom was in solo. Yeah, everyone else has swapped up this time around for the Oni Warriors. Let's see how good Sot and Pegon's duo lane synergy is. We got to see their mid jungle. It looked good for the very first 2v2, and then after that, didn't see too much action. I mean, they definitely dove Jangaru a lot, but Pegon just kept trading, you know, and that's not exactly what you want. You don't want to trade your life every time you go in for a kill, especially when you're the only one on your team who's getting kills.
And Panitom's. Every time he walks in lane, he's getting reminded of what solo lane is like. Last time he took 2 op-wash abilities, went, oh man, that wasn't fun. Now he's taking 2 Cthulhu abilities, oh, that's not fun. Sot and Pegon pushed under tier 1 tower. Took him a while to clear out those buffs on the left side. Makes sure that they get to lane a little bit later than Jake and Snoopy. In fact, you even saw Jake walk up and try and steal that purple buff away, but just a bit early on the bubble bounce to take that one out. I mean, when you think of a pressure duo lane, there are few in the game that can outdo what a Sol Yemoja can have. We usually talk about Yemoja being the pressure guardian, and Sol kind of fits that same bill for the magical hunters or hunter role in general. Feels like it might be a while for the Warriors are allowed to step out of this tower line.
Yeah, you want to talk about pressure, you'll talk about the Sol Yemoja. You want to talk about no pressure, you look at the Sigil Daji. That does no sort of damage, I can assure you. Jangaru is the least DPS character on the map right now, man. Imagine just, you know, he can kill Netrioid, but he is not going to be clearing waves. Kyrmi is going to have to run away, but no cooldowns for genetics means no kill attempt. I'm just baffled at how Jangaru is going to clear waves, especially if Netrioid is healing the wave.
Oh no, that's miserable.
Yeah, 1,000 cuts is going to get half health on an archer. Like, that's your best option. That's why he's going to be spending a lot of his time right there, underneath the tower, waiting for the tower to kill these minions because, yeah, Sigil Daji, I can't imagine a worse clear god.
And that is maybe the opposite of fun for Jangaru. It's been great for Jake. Riptide pulls Sot back. Pegon goes in aggressively, try and bail out, but he's gotten turned on against the Gilded Gladiators, really putting the hurt back their way. Now SOT has to go back to base. Pegon sitting about half HP himself, but a push from Genetics puts Cxnnahh out of position.
Did he catch his dash?
I think he got the dash out. It's going to be first blood going to the Warriors this time, and it's Panitom on the board first for the team.
Wow, that's insane. There's so much disruption there with Cxnnah's dash, but just got it at the perfect time. The driving strike comes through, and you get first blood on the Raijin. Snoopy might be in a little bit of trouble here. Did not use the beads. Doesn't seem like Pegon's going to jump in, though. Decided against it. Snoopy gets down, an awesome Jake ends up taking the speed buff. That takes a while for a Yemoja to grab a speed buff. You really have to do a lot of damage and sit there for quite some time. Let's see if they can take the purple buff as well. Comes the moon bounce. Nope, Pegon has the confirmation. Impale will do the job. But the Gilded Gladiators are behind now. Losing that first blood's a big deal, and Panitom's going to be looking good.
Kyrmi going to help clear out the red buff. As mentioned before, going to take Jangaru a while to get really anything done on his own. With the Sigil Tier 2 Transcendence Daji. Fight from the duo laners inside of the jungle. Another Riptide by Jake pulls Sot back, but no follow-up this time. Snoopy just making sure to clear out the wave. Already applied his damage ahead of time. Waiting for that level 5 to hit between these two. No Phantom Shell yet for SOT. Will get stunned out by Jake, waiting for that level 5 to hit. It's got to be coming soon because he's stepping forward. Snoopy has hit 5, and there's the Rivers Rebuke to lock him in. Kyrmi body blocks along with it and gets the first kill for the Gilded Gladiators now, tying up the kill count.
Yeah, Kyrmi blinks in and can connect with the abduct, make sure Sot can't make it out. And of course, Rivers Rebuke just for their troubles. That's a good play by Kyrmi, trying to match the kill line of the Oni Warriors and actually help catch up that goal lead. Let's see how long it takes Jangaru to do a mid-camp because of that extra damage. How is the Netrioid behind? Just like farm, bro.
Tell you.
Like use your heal as movement, get mids, go to wave, get wave, go to mids, repeat. How is he falling behind? It just took Jangaru half an hour to clear those mids.
Pegon's used all of his kit to try and get in. Now it's Genetics blink in, but he misses the push on the Snoopy.
Oh, he missed
Snoopy
everything.
used the last of his mana to try and fight Pegon. He's one more hit, but he doesn't get it. The revive is there anyways. In case it did connect, Genetics gets the credit for the second kill for the Oni Warriors, but he missed most of his kit getting there. Doesn't matter, as long as you get the boulder, the killing blow.
He missed 66% of the kit, but he made up for it in the first gank, right? He caught Kana's dash with Driving Strike, so he's allowed to miss those because the boulder confirms the kill anyways. Pegon lives. All good things. Netrioid definitely getting ganked here at the red buff. Remember, Netrioid has Aegis, no bead, so has to hold on to the cleanse for Powwow.
Oh,
Does
Lord.
it matter? No, it does not.
Execute
He
misses.
What?
He missed the execute. Powwow's gonna pull back
No.
3. Kyrmi now collapsed on by Panitom, but Jangaru's able to get 1 before he inevitably goes down. Panitom's got to connect more than just the ultimate for this kill. Kyrmi, nowhere to run for him. 2 more for the Oni Warriors. But what happened on that execute for Kyrmi? He missed out on the quick kill and maybe could have been able to turn it around instead.
Yeah, I mean, that cooldown reset's a big deal. Doesn't grab the execute, doesn't find the kill. And Netrioid survives a lot longer than you would expect. Of course, Jangaru ends up cleaning up the kill. But what you expect to be just a quick gank on a red buff against the hell is never that, right? Just so much immunity, so much healing, and the cavalry was on the way. You could see the Genetics comes through to make that one just a little bit harder. And Kyrmi and Jangaru lose their lives, so good play by the Oni Warriors, and good play by Netrioid to just stall that one out as much as possible.
Sigil did keep Jangaru alive a little bit longer than maybe anticipated from the Warriors. Green buff invades. Sot's got nowhere left to go. Rivers will collapse in. Ultimate goes through. Do you got the timing? This time, that's on the dash is there. SOT gets away. Kyrmi 0 for 2 on the executes this time. Not having the timing up against the Khepri. Instead, it's to the gold Fury now for the Gladiators. Frenzy pop. Fury down to half HP. No one from the Warriors there. So for their troubles, they'll at least get 1 objective.
Yeah, they'll take the gold Fury. That's unfortunate because usually you just ult the revive, but Kyrmi wanted to wait to make sure Sot was still in threshold after the revive, and that gave him just enough time to get the abduct and juke the hovering death. We're essentially free because Kyrmi didn't pre-ult that revive. It's a good ult by Awesome Jake as well to trap him in. I thought that would be enough. Some damage going towards Jangaru. Doesn't seem like he's in too much trouble though. Doesn't have the Palo up actually, just comes up now. Can't even get back to base in time. It's all going to be on Genetics. Can he find any more CC? Has the blink. In the meantime, Pegon's in some trouble.
Gets the blink, gets the push over there. Meanwhile, Pegon walks into the tower line. No revive available for SOT. Jangaru's still alive though, but with SOT showing up, the blink is there. And this time, while not an execute, it is a stun, at least for Kyrmi, fighting back against 1. Jake takes out Genetics, and now Sot's got to run. Slowed down from the bubble. But with Netrioid on the way, a good slow. And heals available. Sot will be fine, but Genetics loses life on the battle and left.
Yeah, Kyrmi doing so much damage. That Death Scythe. I was wondering if it was going to be a risky call to ult on to Genetics as Hercules, but look at Hercules' build. Jotun's into, you assume, an Executioner. So going a bit of an auto-attack Herc build does mean that, yeah, Driving Strike was going to swing for a bit, but more so the extra auto-attacks later on that are going to be the real damage dealer. So Kyrmi's going to get a better end of the trade with the Driving Strike. Now, SOT and Pegon seem forward, but Kyrmi never left.
Supernova connects. SOT gets one little bit of a shield, pulls himself back up. But Kyrmi's waiting this time. Doesn't have the execute, but can't just chase him down. Needs the damage. Silence out, but he misses the death scythe. SOT's out again. Kyrmi doesn't able to confirm that one. Snoopy not able to juke out. Can Kyrmi redeem himself this time? There, he's got the execute. You don't miss 3 of them. But now it's Netrioid chasing him down. Riptide from Jake, who never left, by the way. Still there from half HP. The Gilded Gladiators grabbed their kill, but it took a lot longer, and they could have gotten more.
That's kind of messed up. No one misses 3 executes.
Kyrmi doesn't miss 3. Jangaru waiting for Powwow to come back up. Just trying to jump away as fast as he can. Might just have to turn and fight back because he doesn't have that ultimate in time. He can't stand too close to the wall, or you're not going to be able to go into Palo. Gets over with the shield camp.
Boulder.
Does he still have Palo to get out? Genetics does have Boulder. Throws it. Jangaru
off the
shoots
wall.
back.
Ooh.
He goes up into the Palo. Uses the chain to hit 2. Pulls him away. Jangaru He might just be out of this one. Rune connects. Is the Rising Dawn enough? He goes back in with the team and gets the kill.
Jangaru's got the juke shoes, man. Needed to connect with that boulder. Kyrmi actually does connect with the death side here. And that's going to be an easy kill for the Thanatos. Kyrmi puts a 7th on the board for the Gilded Gladiators. And that gold lead continues to climb. We have not seen the solo laners get active yet. I even forget that there's a Cthulhu on the map because I haven't seen that ult popped. It's only been on that side of the map. Clearly he used it, right? But we haven't been able to see the massive Cthulhu because he's all the way over on right lane. Hopefully, Khan and Panitom are able to get active eventually, but not yet.
Pegon stands his ground, jumps away after realizing he's got to now fight into a minion wave +2. Snoopy should be able to take that tower. Stunned out. Pegon goes to the ultimate, but doesn't connect really any of it onto Snoopy this time, and the execute from Kyrmi is there. And a tier 1 tower. Gilded Gladiators, 8 on the board, 5 of them around the waist of Kyrmi, the jungler for the team. And now SOT walks up. Jake, he's been on point with his Riptides this game. He's got another one for Sot and punches him right back through it again. But the double root from Sot might just be enough. Stun a little shy. SOT just going to walk back towards the wave, give a little bit of extra time. Kyrmi going to rotate back in. Maybe he can get number 6 as SOT dashes right to him. Kyrmi not even going to try the death side. Misses it. And will now have to just chase him down. Hovering over towards him. Picks up 5 in a row.
Not bad as Kana looks to be trying to survive underneath the tower for now. It's going to take a while, but the rest of the team will be grabbing the Fury in the meantime. Does Genetics have the pull? No. Tier 1 tower is all they are after for now. The Gilded Gladiators will grab that Primal Fury and look towards Pegon once again. Kyrmi does have ultimate, doesn't have the blink for 30 seconds, and because of that, doesn't decide to step forward against Pegon. But the Gilded Gladiators have been able to translate a lot of this aggression into actual objectives, into actual fights that they have won. It's really just Genetics and Panitom that are looking okay. I mean, still Genetics is 2 levels down, so has not been able to match the farm of Kyrmi by any means. You just got the 2-0 Raijin, and like I said, Panitom hasn't been aggressive just yet.
We haven't seen rotations from Solo out just yet. In fact, Panitom will go back. Thanks for the reminder that there is a Cthulhu in the game. I do appreciate it, Doug, because even sometimes I forget that we have solo laners when matches are so aggressive on the opposite end of the map. All the action has been over in this left jungle. A lot of it even just in the dual lane itself. Pegon and SOT will push forward. Snoopy hit by the Impale up against the tower and pillar. Nowhere for him to squeeze between this time. We'll be able to sit on a tier 1 tower comfortably, but man, look at the rotation again. Kyrmi is already making his way back over, and on the bottom side of the rotation is awesome Jake. Kyrmi gonna hold on to ultimate this time. Use the 2, goes in, gets the silence, but it's an Aegis from Pegon. Kyrmi goes up to the sky just in time. Is there enough damage to put him in execute threshold? It doesn't matter because Kyrmi doesn't get the landing this time. Pegon will get revived back to SOT, but Palau is there. Pulls Pegon back. Beads used by the Anhur to stay alive, and SOT chased out, slowed by the bubble. Jake throws out the river just to catch out Sot, and he will fall down to Kyrmi. 7-1, maybe about to make it 8. Another death sight on the Netrioid. He's doing so much damage with that ability, even with the heals. Netrioid doesn't got much left. Double kill for Kyrmi, the Gladiators with 11 total.
Yep, Kana teleports in to try and go for a fight in mid lane. It's going to take a bit, but they've got the wraparound. It's actually Panitom who's dashing forward. He kind of wants this fight, but Kyrmi, one good death sight will do it, but a good jump from Pegon stalls this one out. The death sight misses, but awesome Jake able to pick up that one. Now Panitom will definitely be falling down here. It's going to take a while. Who gets the last hit? Probably Kyrmi. See if he hits the ult this time, and he does.
Kyrmi's got the execute. 9-1-3 on the Thanatos. Gilded Gladiators starting to pull ahead a bit. 4,000 gold up against the opposition. Pyromancer available. Same with Fire. Genetics, well, he's doing whatever he can to try and get some farm on the map. Level 12 for the jungler, in air quotes here, for the Oni Warriors. Jungler on field, at the very least.
I mean, he is the jungler.
He is the jungler. He may not be the official jungler for the team, but this game, he is jungling. And he's 3 levels down to Kyrmi right now, not quite able to match the presence and the rotational power that Kyrmi has shown so far.
I've been pretty critical of Genetics' building so far this set. You know, the breastplate Shogun's Freya, we never really saw come online. The Jotun's Exy, I'm going to assume Kin's Herc. And now we've all seen an auto-attack Hercules in our time, but usually it's like full red items, Deathbringer, you know, like just for the extra, like...
The Oranga's in there.
Yeah, might as well, but haven't seen too much auto-attack damage from Genetics. It's been just Driving Strike, Boulder, now we got to run. You know, that's kind of been the idea. Genetics is definitely leaning more towards late game. You got to hope the Oni Warriors even make it to that point. With the pace they've been going, isn't looking too probable. Big gold lead in favor of the Glad so far.
Well, Jangaru's made it through his weaker portion of the game with the Sigil start. Now has 3 items online. Only sitting 2-1-3 for the moment. He's just been trying to get that farm up so he can walk into these fights. Has made his presence known whenever he does get those rotations. But with no Pyro available, Gilded Gladiators, their next objective would be the Oni Fury. But they're starting to group up towards mid. Kana's rotated over. You do see Jangaru and Snoopy on the left side of the map. I thought it might be Fury, but it might just be a kill on a Panitom or a tier 1 tower. Pushed by Genetics, does catch out Jake, but the tower's going to go down. A Riptide out by Jake, not quite enough. Boulder's going to try and help bail him out, but Panitom's going to try and drag him back in with a River's Rebuke up. Jake down plenty of options to get out of this one. Kyrmi can't get to the sky. Massive shutdown for Pegon, and Jangaru goes back in. Palau is there. He's going to try and go for Netrioid, but he gets revived by the Scarab's Blessing. Try and pull him back. No, he cannot. Jangaru out of the fight. Kana, no ultimate, left to get separated from the rest of his team. It's Jake and Snoopy trying to bail out if they can. Jump in by Panitom, Snoopy low, Aegis, and the shield from Jake are enough to keep them alive. It's just Kyrmi who falls.
I'm just Kyrmi, but now the tier 2 tower's under fire. The Oni Warriors have some fire in this game. Tier 2 will go down, so some extra gold in their pocket. But the Oni Fury is still up as well, and it seems to be that the Warriors won. I mean, Kyrmi dying before getting Hovering Death Hop is a big mistake there. You get shut down, you give plenty of gold over towards the Warriors, and you can't get your execute off. And that's a majority of the fight back now. The Gladiators seem to be going for a sneaky Fire Giant, but is that enough? I mean, once you see Kana, is that enough for the Oni Warriors to believe in this feint? So far, yes. It's only SOT who could really know. And it seems like, yeah, he's on to this. He's going to head over immediately.
He stuffed it out, but it's Kana trying to body block.
Too late. It's done.
SoloOrTroll is just going to give it up. Maybe he doesn't realize just how far it had been. The Gilded Gladiators do get the Fire Giant, taking that one away. Good call by the Gladiators to head that way. Stop that objective. Kyrmi going to go for a blue steal. Might just go in for an attack onto Panitom. Dunks in, gets the beads from the Raijin, but Kyrmi going to keep going. Silences out Percussive Storm with Genetics nearby. It's a bit too dangerous to step up to a Hercules. Yeah,
I like the call of just up-downing to check if anyone was nearby. You pull the beads off of Panitom. Then you start to look for a tier 2 of your own. Genetics did go back and pick up that kin size, but still, not looking for any 1v1s in the jungle just yet. If anything, the Gilded Gladiators are not going to step forward here. Looks like they wanted a tier 2, but could not find the aggression and decide to retreat. After that, only 18 minutes in. Still a very early Fire Giant to have, but it's on all 5, and you still have about a 5,000 gold lead just about, close to it anyways. So the Gilded Gladiators should feel confident at least stepping up for these tier 2s. Kana's going to grab the beacon, and maybe look towards mid, as the Oni Warriors going to go for a Pyromancer pull.
Genetics near. Pegon going to start that one up with his jungler. Snoopy stepping forward. They've got good steal potential. Kana goes in, and ultimately all of them, the Warriors, get the Pyromancer, but the fight's breaking out, and SOT is going to be the first one who goes down. XQ misses by Kyrmi, but Sot should still go down in the midst of the rivers. Netrioid low, and Netrioid gone. Kana with 1, and Kyrmi with another. 2 kills for the Gilded Gladiators. Pyromancer, the silver lining for the Warriors.
Yeah, but they're not done. Look at this, rip-tiding forward. The Gilded Gladiators want this tier 2. They still have the man advantage, the 2-man advantage. For the 15 seconds, why not look towards a Phoenix? You don't have any ultimates, but do the Gilded Gladiators even need him? I'm thinking no.
Panitom, Pegon, Genetics here. No ultimates available for any of them. Frenzy popped by the Gladiators, but Genetics has dashed in, and it might be the last thing that he gets to do. Kyrmi sets him down, and it's Pegon heading back. Mid lane, Phoenix dropped by the Gladiators. 19.5 minutes in. Still holding on to their 6K lead. And a reinitiation by Kyrmi and Kana. They dash right back in. Kyrmi in the sky looking for a target. He's already gotten beads from Panitom before. but they're still a bit too healthy on the side of the Warriors. The Gladiators have to back away from this one, even from the slows on the Jangaru. Teleports back to his team, but Snoopy is the one being pulled back by Panitom, and now it's the Gladiators on the defense.
Yeah, here we go. The retreat call has been made. The Oni Warriors recognize there's no more to chase after the taiko drums come down. They will not fight any longer. The Gilded Gladiators grab the mid Phoenix and are able to retreat for now. Once again, the Gladiators have shown they don't need the execute. They don't need to shut down Scarab's Blessing to win a fight. I really think that if Kyrmi gets that execute, sure, you get the cooldown reset, you get a little bit of a heal, you're able to chain them into more. But it hasn't been necessary, and that's probably because the Oni Warriors don't have a lot of damage. It is very reliant on Panitom, because so far, Netrioid can't survive for very long. Sitting at 0-4, has 3 items to his name, one of them's a tank item. Pegon, sure, he's been able to get some decent damage off with the ult, but can't just sit in the fight chucking out auto attacks, is not able to stand that close to the Gilded Gladiators. So even if the Scarab's Blessing doesn't come through, doesn't matter too much now. Panitom's going down to a gank. Unfortunate Cxnnahh able to pick up that one, and Pegon, are you sure you want this fight? There's no one even near you.
He's kind of winning this fight pretty handedly. Desert's Fury used. Snoopy aces most of it. Jake gonna slow him down with
Oh my
Jake's the one dying. Pegon is utilizing these autos very well. Jumps out of the river, still alive and healthy. Snoopy taking too much damage. Pegon is just winning the 2v1. He might even jump in for Jake if you give him an opportunity to do so. Yeah, turn around, taunt him back. You deserve it for the 2v1.
Back does get stopped. He's got to go in for the kill.
Oh, stun
But
got
Jake
him. Jake! Oh, look at that. Spear of Desolation for Jake. He wasn't expecting that much damage back.
I mean, he almost wins the 2v1, but sometimes I'm jumping in there too. The second my back is stopped, you're definitely getting chased. You know you're getting rotated on. You got to look for the 2v1. But man, Snoopy, you got to hit something there, bro. That was wild.
I just kept walking up to spear after spear, and every one of those were connecting from Pegon. So a great 2v1 from the Hunter of the Warriors. Keep himself alive as long as he did. Gets 1 kill. By the way, I believe Jangaru solo genetics in mid all while that was happening. There was the gank over on right side to kill Panitom, and then there was the action on left. We had 3 different fights all happening in quick succession. That just happened to be the one that we focused in on because, well, I'm glad we did. Watching a 2v1 like that, Pegon really showing his stuff.
And genetics went Aussie, bro. What? You already have a heal.
What's his attack speed? It's got to be like 1.9, I'm gonna guess. Who knows?
Who cares? He's
attacking fast. We know that.
Yeah,
I'm just taking a guess, a shot in the dark. We'll go over to genetics while Fire Giant is started up.
I just want to see him, like, how many auto attacks he actually gets off in a team fight. Because he's gonna like 2-1, run, throw a boulder, auto attack, and either you've won the fight or you've lost the fight at that point. So I don't know. I just feel like full red items is going to get more done. But maybe the call was, how do we shred through Cthulhu? I'm going to kin size him down. You know, if that's the case, then I suppose. But it's just, there's got to be better ways that you could be piloting the Herc jungle. And genetics, he wants to be an auto attack boy.
Wants to be one so badly.
He's building his Herc jungle with more damage than his Freya ADC. Wait, with more attack speed too.
Yeah. More attack speed, more attack damage than Freya did. He's playing a completely different role. Mid-Phoenix has respawned for the Warriors, but it's sitting on basically nothing at this point. One stray auto from any of the damage dealers on the Gladiators should knock that one down. Meanwhile, Genetics was able to get that tier 2 over on left. Gladiators are taking a little bit of time to push into this one. They have Jake, Snoopy over on the right side. Panitom goes in, does his Fury all onto Jake. He's out for the time being, but Sada's gone back in to try and pull him back in the fight. Pal out from Jangaru, and ultimate from Kyrmi. He lands on top of Netrioid. The revive is there. Jake is able to not make it out of this one. It's Panitom getting the credit for that kill. Cxnnahh on death's door, backing himself away. The Gilded Gladiators, a failed siege on the right bird. They do manage to get the mid through all the chaos.
I mean, awesome Jake ends up getting pulled in by Sot, gets very low, and you see the taunts come through from Panitom, but he makes it out. Kyrmi, once again, off the mark on the hovering death, ends up going towards Netrioid instead of Sot. And because that execute goes down, maybe you're expecting the kill, but the revive comes through as well, which means 2 drop kills for the Gilded Gladiators. Sure, you get mid-bird, but it did seem like right side Phoenix was what they were after as well. And because that ult does not connect, they're not able to find it. The Oni Warriors get some time to stall this one out for a little bit of extra farm in the meantime. And this beacon will be sending the Titans unleashed as well. No one's been grouping up for it. Kana's nearby. Looks like Kana and Kyrmi should be able to grab it. Maybe one more chance to push. They've got a minute 37 though. This Fire Giant buff's definitely going to wear off.
Gladiators pushing up for the beacon. Caps up the third one, sends the Titans down right side this time. The mid Phoenix down. Gladiators can maybe focus their efforts to the left Phoenix in response. Panitom will go ahead and push up a minion wave as the Gladiators start to group up. 2 mid, 3 left. The Oni Warriors able to hold down that last defense. Again, losing their bird, but already weakened on its respawn and down to basically nothing. 4 versus 2 in mid could go well if the Warriors can find anybody, but Jangaru up on the pal out, able to bail himself out, gets over to Kana. Same time, Kyrmi bailed out inside of the jungle. Now, Genetics, he misses the blink push. He's not going to get punished just yet. The River's Rebuke are there. SOT, the only one locked inside of it. He will go down, tries to pull, but the pull only drags him to his own death. Mid Phoenix down means that Kana can just walk right through to the base of the Oni Warriors, zone them out, while the rest of his team groups up left.
Yeah, Panitom goes into the ultimate there, assuming Kyrmi was going to land on him, but Hovering Death nowhere near. Boulder going to clear out some minions, but Awesome Jake's looking tanky, and he's stepping forward here. The Gilded Gladiators have the one-man advantage, and they're not afraid of this Phoenix.
Snoopy's Aegis is down, though. Good impale by Pegon, shoves him against the pillar. And the 4v5, the base defense of the Oni Warriors holding firm. River's Rebuke still down from Jake after the last team fight. Snoopy getting poked away by Panitom, but heals from Jake are keeping the team healthy enough. Panitom jumps forward towards Awesome Jake, but one Mire from Kana blocks off nearly the entire lane. The Oni Warriors give up their chase.
Yeah, you might as well siege forward there because number 1, Sot was spawning in, and number 2, there's no Titan, right? It's pushed up right. Even if you lose that fight royally, you cannot get your game ended. So I like the call from Panitom. Doesn't end up netting too much though. The Gilded Gladiators still grab themselves the Primal Fury and are able to reset for Fire Giant, but already the Oni Warriors are here. Are they going to go deal with the Titan, or are they just going to set up an ambush? Genetics has shown himself, so does not seem like that's going to be too much of a sneaky play. Also chucks the boulder on the map, so the Gilded Gladiators know that's not going to be up for a little bit longer.
He's putting more attack speed.
Yeah, he's got
Odysseus.
He's going Odibo, man. What do you mean? He showed his hand. Say what you want about his build. Say that he's barely doing more damage than Sot.
He's capped attack speed.
Yeah, say that he's barely doing more damage than Sot, but the man wants to hit things quickly.
And he will. He'll hit them very, very quickly. Netrioid needs to get a bailout.
Hasn't autoed yet.
Can you use that attack speed to
Hasn't
help out?
autoed yet.
Swung one.
Not a single
Is he
auto.
gonna swing at all of this fight? He's already dashed out of this one as the Rivers have already collided. SOT collapse on Netrioid down. And Sot immediately after, killing for Jangaru. Genetics on the run. Panitom trying to fight back with his own ultimate and Thunder Crash out. But Jake waiting for the chance to use that Riptide. Can Panitom get caught out? He does! Good Riptide by Jake. Nets a 3rd kill for the Gladiators. Double kill for Jangaru. And it's just Genetics and Pegon left. The Phoenix is respawned, but is only there for a moment. Can Genetics and Pegon put up the 2v5 defense? They had Pegon and Sot for this one last time. Can Genetics get the job done? He's standing back.
We better see one lightning proc.
He gets the blink. He gets the push to Kyrmi in the fountain. But a Titan is still taking damage. It's being chipped away. Genetics swinging on him. That's the
there
third.
It is.
He's finally swung 3 or 4, but those 3 or 4 should have been maybe 30 or 40 because the Gilded Gladiators are now up 2-0.
I mean, he got the blink pull into the well, which was pretty sick. I saw one charge of lightning in that whole fight. Unfortunate. Genetics finally gets a chance to cook, and it's too late. Even if he was able to just chop away with that auto attack build, the Titan was what needed to be kept alive, and the Gilded Gladiators are able to pull up 2-0 off of, be it some sketchy gameplay. The Thanatos that was hard carrying that game could not find an execute, but they found the 2-0, and some might say that's more valuable.
At the end of the day, A win's a win.
That's true.
In game number 2, the Gilded Gladiators have found themselves the 2-0 lead over the Oni Warriors. I'm just going to say it, he was cooking, but I think what Genetics was cooking was a bit spoiled ingredients, maybe soured a little bit. How is it that he stands inside river with 3 people around and he's just like, yeah, this is fine, this is fine,
Hey,
I'm not going to do anything. He just
survived.
He
He didn't die.
did survive, I
And he
guess.
dished up a kill into his fountain.
He did. That was cool. That was a great play by Genetics at the very end. 1-0 the win, though. We'll take it to a quick break and come back with game 3 right after.
Well, the Gladiators find themselves 2 wins, Mifflin, something that has not been a common occurrence. I feel like the last time it happened, they went 5 games against the Dragons, and that might have been the last time they had 2 in that column. The question of the day is, can they get it to a 3 and win this set? Warriors are giving them their best option to do so. That one, again, sometimes there's moments, right? By the end of it, the gold lead is so separate that it's not as big a deal. But for a while there, it's a lot closer than I anticipated going. Build conversations aside, the Warriors still, hold their own for a little while.
Gore.
Yeah.
I wish there were a way for me to express to you the fear that I currently harbor in my heart. The fear, the secondhand embarrassment that may come to fruition should the Oni Warriors, 1, decide to play seriously, 2, actually win out. That would be a mental crusher. The likes of which I don't think the Gilded Gladiators have fully comprehended at this point. I'm telling you wholeheartedly that fear would have taken such a powerful root in my heart that I would have thrown Game 2. I would have thrown Game 2 to guarantee there was no reverse sweep opportunity. Without true hope, there can be no despair, right? And right now, the Gilded Gladiators are on the precipice of 1 game win, 1 set win, to finally put a 1 in that 0. And honestly, that is perhaps the most precarious situation they could find themselves in. I would have almost preferred, as a Gladiator, putting myself in their shoes, that they lost Game 2.
That was a lot to... I mean, at the end, it was a very simple statement, but a lot to handle. The sheer, true despair they could feel, the fear that could be there. Now, should the Warriors decide that be their fate? Yeah, I agree, though. It is something to be worried about, right? 5 games, not really a future that I think anybody is...
Villains hope
Villains
that.
want that.
They wish that upon the Gilded Gladiators from a place of pure malice.
I mean, you got to think, are these guys hourly? I know you are.
I am.
I'm not anymore. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll figure that out. That's personal contemplations. If these guys are, we're going 5, man, because why not? They might have some plans or something, Maybe they got something they want to do. It is interesting to think about, though. Gladiators, nothing to Miff, I'm gonna ask you this.
Yeah.
This is like genuine conversation.
Okay.
How would you feel as a competitor? Like, is a win, or is it like, wow, we won, but those guys were clowning so hard, and like we still had some issues with it? Like, where do you draw the line where you're like, where you feel good or don't? Like,
Gore, when you're starving, if you are legitimately on death's door and you just need some sort of caloric intake so you can see the sun again tomorrow, you're going to eat garbage. You're going to eat a corpse off the side of the road. You'll eat a possum that had been there for a week, okay? A win
and you'll pick your teeth with
is
the bones.
a win. A win is a win for the Gilded Gladiators, regardless of circumstance.
And you know what? That's where they're at right now. A win is a win, and they've got 2 of them in a
they
row.
need it.
1 more, and the Gladiators will break a loss streak. They will put themselves in a position to be the last team to win in the regular season of this phase.
That's pretty cool.
You can, as long as you say exactly that wording, they could use that all they want. The question then would be, their future, things like that. All of that's locked in stone, standings-wise. And so the only thing that's not locked in stone, Mifflin, is what the hell we're going to see in Game 3. And then, of course, what that means we'll see potentially in a Game 4 or a maybe Game 5. Now, what do you anticipate using your analytical brain? You've had time to study the Warriors. You've had time to try and figure out their personalities, their mentalities, and how they would approach this. Are they gonna push us to 5 just for the sake of doing? Sake of doing it. There we go. We found it. We found the word.
Oh man, do the Oni Warriors need this dub?
Do
they
the Oni?
want it?
No, I don't think
Do
it's
they
do they
wanna
need this
be
dub.
here?
Do they hate the Gladiators?
Yeah,
Like that's the only real question.
Do they truly despise their enemies here? I think we're in for.
If you're gonna go 4, you better go 5. I'll say that.
Yeah,
much.
if they win out on this one, they definitely
Like
take.
if you win
they
this,
take it
don't
to
waste
5.
my time. Just win the set.
But I think we're looking at role swaps still there, maybe slightly more serious draft or equally serious draft, more serious builds. They're taking it piece
You
by
telling me that
piece.
you didn't like the Odibo Hercules? That
I just didn't think that
I
maybe
don't think
that was
he
the most
meleeed.
valuable. Yeah, I don't, maybe there could have been other things there that were a little bit better.
yeah, okay. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. Gladiators are first pick. They're up 2-0. Ullr, Athena, and Apwash banned out. Yemoja, Chernabog, and it will be Ullr who gets banned. So we've seen a lot of Raijin in this position. We've seen a lot of gods in this position. It's going to be Sol, though, for the Gladiators.
Big surprise.
They won with game 1 and 2, huh?
That's right. I'm pretty sure just about every win the Gilded Gladiators have gotten has been on the soul for Snoopy. I'm maybe one game he was off that soul. Let's heat check the Oni Warriors as we all wait with bated
You know,
breath.
that's one that I can look up pretty easily, actually.
Yeah, and I'll buy time by simply waxing poetic in Japanese as you type into that keyboard. Oni Warriors. 3
One
seconds
win
on the clock
on Rom.
until we get into
What am I
that
doing?
bank
So
time. Still considering their opportunities, their options here. 1 minute 25 bank time. Go ahead and utilize the full extent of their brains. Big Bradley Cooper fans love Limitless. Now utilizing all
Having fun there,
100%
bud.
as they parse the 150 some odd gods in SMITE so that they can lock in the Freya in first slot. That is not good. Baba Yaga's real good. Freya could be good if it's like ADC and not genetics, or if genetics goes ADC and doesn't build a genetics build. It's not the worst draft we've seen.
Yeah, so far. In fact, earlier to the point where you were willing to levy the entire weight of the Warriors game 1 on if they locked in Baba Yaga or
You know,
not.
Baba Yaga is that good.
Once they went for Morgan Le Fay, you were off the wagon again. But when they had the Baba Yaga hovered, it was looking great. Myth, I've got some bad news for you, though, bud.
Uh-huh.
6 Soul games coming into this week.
Right.
6 losses
What?
for the Gladiators.
They haven't been winning on the Soul?
They've got Rom,
But they keep
Chernabog,
playing it.
AMC. But when you lose that much,
I guess so.
you play a lot of gods.
We're talking game wins, not a single one on the Soul except for
That's-
this set?
And yeah,
What did they win on before?
they've got 2 on Amaterasu.
ADCs.
So let's hold on. Yeah, let's first highlight that there's only 4 total game wins
Right.
up to
Wait, what?
today, coming into
Is
today.
that including phase 1?
Not including phase.
Okay,
two.
just
Just
phase
phase
two.
Just phase 2.
4 total, including
total-
today?
Not including
Not
today.
including today.
Today
so we're at
is
6.
today brings us up to 6.
Nice.
They had 4 coming into today. Rom twice, Chernabog once, Anhur once. Because I'm assuming this AMC was mid. So
Right.
They,
AMC so often is mid,
yeah. Well,
not the roll.
we'll find out. Is Soul the secret sauce now that they've swapped over? Or is it just the Oni Warrior special? We'll see. Charon, Ratatoskr locked in alongside that Soul. Baba Yaga, we had already mentioned. Heimdallr. Oh, man, and who knows where that's going to go, and who knows who's playing it. Everything's topsy-turvy, and all our knowledge for the Warriors doesn't... Well, actually, your knowledge probably means a lot more than
Yaga
mine.
mid, Heim ADC, Freya support. Let's not think about anything else now. We got to take it one step at a time.
No brain.
No brain.
No
Just
aim.
simply address what's happening on the screen. Cover up the players. Don't try and read facial
Oxy.
expressions.
Laughing.
Yeah.
bro.
I passed Oxy in the hallway, and I gave him a real dramatic, like, darn it, like we were real mad, and he just laughed. He laughed at me, and the laugh came from so deep in his chest, I didn't recognize it as a human sound. That guy, it was demonic. Oxy simply
He's been
does not
possessed.
care today.
And you know what? I think that might be seeping a little down into the players. Or maybe it's going the other way. Maybe it's the players into the coach.
Oh God, the Loki.
Who's
gonna ink on
the
them.
Loki player on this team? That's genetics. That feels genetics.
But there's a Freya.
Yeah, he already played it though, didn't he?
Yeah, I guess he's bored of it now.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
I don't know. I could see a SOT Loki. I could see a Pegon Loki. Here's the thing about how Loki players are a very specific breed, Gore, and I think all 5 of them have that dog in them. It could be anybody.
Okay, it could very well be you. If you know
Could be.
Loki
I got like 3 stars on my
seek
Loki.
help. Really?
Yeah, I'm a freak.
Where? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have when I started. Okay, this is gonna villainize me a little bit.
Okay.
When I started playing Smite, specifically when I got one of my friends to start playing Smite, so this would have been very early 2013. I've been playing for a few months by then. I loved Hebo, so I only played Hebo. He loved Loki, so he only played Loki.
Wow, you guys are the
We were the
worst duo queue ever.
We were terrible to play into. And I think we got, like, I remember distinctly getting him a pentakill. I crushing waved like 4 people, and then he just Loki cleaned up
the
mess
last
I
guy.
left behind.
Yeah, the one guy.
No, he last hit the 4.
Oh, all 4.
And then got a penta on the
dude.
last guy.
But you did it all.
He just Loki'd him.
You guys are still friends after that?
Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, we were, like, hanging out, like, 2 days ago.
Oh, it's a Thanatos for the Warriors.
Yeah, crack that eggshell, bud.
Okay, okay. I'm sticking with the allocation of top 3. Freya support, Yaga mid, Heimdallr ADC. I'll take Loki. I would take Loki jungle, Thanatos solo, but that's too good. So let's you know.
Flip that.
What did Charlemagne say? Up, down, twist it? I don't know. It was from that trailer that went viral.
What did Charlotte?
Was it Charlemagne? No, it wasn't Charlemagne. That's the Breakfast Club. Oh no, Timothy Chalamet. Oh my God.
Timothy Chalamet, like the lead actor in Dune, and
Yeah, and he's
the
doing the
upcoming, like, Wonka movie?
Yeah, and you seen the trailer with that real cringe line? That was all over TikTok for
I
like
have
6
not
months.
seen that. I want to see the Wonka
Oh
movie.
man, what's the
wildly
line,
because it
dude?
sounds so ridiculous.
Oh man.
Hold on. So you want me to look up Timothy?
No, it's okay.
Chalamet Wonka quote.
It's like
I've spent 7 years traveling the world perfecting my craft. You see, I'm something of a magician, inventor, and chocolate maker. So
that's
quiet
the
up
one.
and
You
listen
got
down.
it. Yeah, you. Wait, no, what's the last part?
So quiet up and listen down.
Wait, no, reverse it. That's right. That's the line. Listen up and quiet down. Wait, no, reverse it. I don't remember what I was doing. Yeah, Loki solo.
How much
Thanatos
Gene
jungle.
Wilder energy do you think he's going to channel in?
Who is that?
That's the guy who originally played Willy Wonka in the first.
Oh, dude, that guy scared me when I was younger. Legitimately, that
I
was
think that was
a
his
deeply
goal.
disturbing movie.
He's a good actor.
He's a bad guy.
He's a terrible human being.
That's a bad man. He's got to be to play that role.
Katie and I very often quote the "You lose, sir. Good day" to each other whenever the other person.
Yeah, that's from Vine.
It.
Yeah, I saw that on Vine.
Yeah, that tracks, man. Drafts.
I already did it.
Oh, are we? We're done then?
Yeah, I already did
Oh
it.
man, you're right. Imagine doing that on the world's.
I would
like,
never.
Yeah, I already broke it down.
Yeah, don't ask again. Pay attention when I speak. Quiet down and listen up. Wait, no, reverse it.
We're good for game, baby. So we're gonna jump into it. This fell apart quick. JMX, save us.
Well, let's hope that the game can save us all. It's game 3 with the Gladiators and the Oni Warriors. Glad's up 2-0. But Mifflin was
Myth is
only
such a
partially
zoomer,
right.
man.
He
Oh
was-
my gosh.
Look, Miff was partial right on the draft, but when I hear, an old quote from a movie like that, and he just goes, "Yeah, that's from Vine."
He's such a zoomer,
That's
man. That's crazy. He starts that desk with saying, "I've got 3 stars on Loki." Also,
that was awful to begin with.
yeah, who's Gene Wild? I don't know. Forget it. Let's just dissect what's in front of us. Do we have any repeats? From what it seems,
Okay.
Netrioid goes into solo this time, so Panitom gets to play a different role. And Netrioid is the Loki.
Wait, hold on. Where's? Okay, no.
Panitom's mid.
Okay, yeah.
Panitom's mid.
So it's a Pegon genetics
SOT
lane.
jungle. Yep, Pegon genetics lane. Given the builds, you assume Pegon's ADC, but this is exactly
You
Genetics'
assume.
this is Genetics' ADC Freya start. So let's just say 2 ADCs.
I think it depends on if he goes Typhons or Pythags, if he's ADC or if he's support.
Oh, grow up. You
So-
know he's going Typhons, man. You and I both know he's going Typhons.
God, you're so right. He is going to go Typhons.
He's going
and then he's going to go
Typhons,
Breastplate, then
Shoguns.
Shoguns, and then he's got a double ring up if he gets that late in the game.
Yeah, that is true. That's exactly what he's going to do. They've got AoE autos, though. Their clear is actually kind of nuts.
Some really good clear. Meanwhile,
Look at that.
let's talk about the Gladiators comp, because this one's a bit maybe easier to kind of break down. We've seen the Tsukuyomi mid before. Kyrmi on the Ratatoskr, no stranger for that one. Kana bringing another mage back over to solo lane. When you think of solo lane mages, Zhong kind of jumps up there along with Hades as kind of like the two that really do just kind of live in solo lane. I don't think it's still Loki, though. I mean, how does this matchup really even go for a Zhong up against this god?
I can't imagine Kana's ever in trouble. Like, ever. You go Pythag's Breastplate, you own Loki. Like, that's the end of that matchup as far as I'm concerned. Sure, you can look towards, like, actual rotations later, but just the 1v1? Nah, there should be nowhere where Netrioid can do anything towards Kana. It's just a mage meta, man. We're in a mage meta. Loki cannot exist in that lane. He'll be able to like just be cringe and then rotate out and kill people, but not Kana. Not in a 1v1. It's not going to happen.
We'll wait to see. Actually, I got to give a little bit of a shout that Panitom finally left solo lane.
Yeah, it's big.
Spent the first 2 games. I think it's a full swap for everybody this time. Well, I mean, Genetics is, I guess, technically in the support role, in air quotes. So he's in his traditional lane. Everybody else is swapped up a bit. Sot stunned out in mid. Taking a bit of damage. Has that dead side. As long as a minion's nearby, a free target for him to heal back up off of. Curious to see, though, which of these first items that Genetics goes for. I think you're right to say it's the Typhons.
Yeah, I mean, he has not shown a sign to want to go the... I'm not going to say correct build. There is no correct build, but he's definitely not going to go the meta build. That much we know. If Genetics is going to continue what he's been doing, then yeah, it's going to be tanky Freya. And will it be good? Probably not. But if he gets late game, any Freya can work, as far as I'm concerned. The issue, of course, is getting there. So far, still looks Gladiators leaning, but relatively even.
Kyrmi maybe trying to sneak over for an invade. Dash in, Acorn Blast at the spin. Does steal that one away, so Panitom denied a red buff, takes a bit more damage than he was wanting to have to deal with. Now we have a fight over the shield buff whooped by Genetics in hands from both the Magic ADCs, but Snoopy has got immunity for a time. He can continue his chase on, or can just bail out with the help of Jake. Rooted 1 in place. So no blood spilled over in the dual lane. The buff itself not even gone down just yet. We do see SOT making his rotation over. And now I know it wasn't in a actual SPL match, but do have to throw the credit back the way, at least for... No, it was Jake on it. Never mind. I completely retract what I was going to say. I was going to talk about the double Penta Thanatos, but that was Jake whenever he played that one. Now Pegon in danger. Tidal Wave does not connect to Pegon. Did use the ultimate to dash away. So the Gilded Gladiators use a couple of ultimates. One actual ultimate from Awesome Jake. I'm losing it now. I've been slowly falling apart as this set has gone on.
I don't blame you, man. This is one of those sets where you gotta be a little bit lost, you know what I mean? Or else it's not, else you're not doing your job. Because so far, everything about our job entails knowing these guys in 5 specific roles, playing like one of 3 gods each, right? Like some people have wire god pools, and now everything's just off the walls. Netrioid over in solo, Sot in the jungle, Panitom in mid. That's gonna be a little funky for anyone.
Ultimate from Netrioid trades out with Kyrmi. It feels like every time we tune over to Kyrmi, he's in enemy jungle. I think he spent more time in the Warriors jungle than he has in his own. Speed buff invade earlier, red buff steal as well. Back harpies. Feels this right side of the map just belongs to Kyrmi for the Gladiators.
Certainly does. Jake wants a solo kill here. He's trying to find the best way to do it. Doesn't quite have River of Sticks, which means there's no way you have the damage to ever find a kill. But you can just force the teleport from Pegon and hope someone comes by. So far hasn't been the case. Genetics has been getting aggressive though. Did not finish the Typhons. Ends up going in for the Shoguns first. Wants more defense before damage. This is the reason you want some of that defense, but now he's surrounded by 3. He's going to be able to stall with Valkyrie's discretion, but how much follow-up do you have? Is Genetics going down for first blood?
He doesn't have the range. Frenzy popped by Jake, and Supernova for Snoopy. Gets the kill now, the Piercing Moonlight to chase down Panitom. Goes into the house for some extra health and shielding.
He's
Can't
done.
get to the sky. That's a double for Snoopy, and it might be a third one. Pegon's joined in, but Snoopy's low. He's trying to turn back and fight.
Lifesteal.
Nearly winning that one, but Jangaru will stun him out before he can Bifrost away. 3-for-1 trade. It's the Gladiators on top.
Man, low mana bars was the difference maker there. If Jangaru had a little bit extra, maybe if Snoopy had a little bit extra, you don't even lose anyone. But 3-1 for the Gilded Gladiators. Sot was not able to get up into the sky. Hovering Death could have made a difference in that fight. Genetics, no sort of damage though, of course. Goes into more of a tanky style build, which means if Kyrmi blinks on him, yeah, he's going to be able to get some damage off. Tries to go in for the purple buff invade, successful. Awesome Jake gets to pick up that one. And here comes Sot. No threshold, but do you have the damage to get away? I'm thinking no.
No, shields, but wait, Duncan by Kyrmi. Is that enough to stop it? No, kill still goes almost to God. A turnaround could be under the way. Snoopy cuts off the path, and Kyrmi is out, so it's only 1 down for the Glads, but a purple buff steal for the Gladiators makes it to where it's not the worst trade that you can take. Do you still see SOT sitting around the jungle? He's already used that ultimate. No real way to get back to Snoopy. So good turnaround by the Warriors to get something off of their buff invaded.
Yeah, beautiful ult there from Sot, just to try and chase that one down, obviously. You are not going to be able to find the kill onto Snoopy, but Kyrmi almost fell down just through the Cosmosing in to try and peel for Awesome Jake. Sometimes you gotta just accept when someone's dead, and I think, yeah, Awesome Jake was definitely dead in that regard. 2-level lead, though, for Cxnnahh. That's what we expected. Zhong should just absolutely devour this lane. There's not anything Loki can do. But you're not picking Loki for the lane. You're picking Loki to try and one-shot some squishies later on. Looks like you're going to have 2 options, Jangaru and Snoopy. Everyone else is going to have some form of defense built and probably just be able to out-trade Loki until late game. So Netrioid's going to have to play very carefully. You could tell he's going to have to ward up because Kyrmi already on the right side of the map once again. Jangaru very close to getting Panitom into that execute threshold where if Piercing Moonlight connects, you just get a kill. Not quite an execute, but pretty much does that damage, you know, Vegas.
Joke's on us, by the way. Genetics did not finish up his lifesteal. Instead, just went for attack speed with the Shoguns. Kasari able to fight back against Snoopy and Awesome Jake.
Sticks.
For his discretion, not gonna be enough damage. River Sticks catches him out, but he's just outside of the damage range. Sub 20 health for the support of the Oni Warriors. And he lives the game, but Pegon's come back in. Use the ultimate to throw Jake under tower. Might be able to buy a little bit of extra time, but he uses the first ability a little too early. Jake, though, being ping-ponged around under tower, and Jake gets the credit for the kill because the silence puddle was still under Pegon's feet that whole time. Snoopy helps to turn that one back around, but it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Sot might take a 1v1 versus Kyrmi in the jungle, but no mana left means Kyrmi doesn't really want to take a fight. If anything, just attempt to steal the buff or go in for the kill on the Genetics. You got Blink. Can he find it? Looks like he goes for it, gets the kill, and doesn't get the buff. Now, though, does Sot have the damage to try and chase this one down because here comes Panitom. Looks like they might want to attempt to kill. Blink in. Kyrmi absolutely gone. That Death Scythe is chunking, and Sot's not done.
Oh my god, he got another Death Scythe off. Actually popped the shard immediately to get the cooldowns back. Takes down 1, takes down 2. Might just go for 3. Piercing Moonlight hits both Panitom and Sot. Panitom is low. The execute's there to help save him out. It's a triple kill for SOT, and he's gonna go for 4. Awesome Jake rows away. The silence is there, but he's just a bit too tanky on the Charon. SoloOrTroll triple kill on the Thanatos.
And this is what happens when you get the last hits on Thanatos. You just get so much benefit. The cooldown reset, the heals, the extra penetration from your 2. Sot able to pick up his 4th kill of the game and help swing that gold a little bit back in the favor of the Oni Warriors. This would also do it. Gold Fury started up. Awesome Jake and Snoopy are here. Here comes the River of Styx, a little bit too early, but does get Genetics very low.
Does hit too. Genetics not going to be dunked on. Instead, the Gladiators steal it away. Kyrmi's ultimate grabs the Fury. Pegon sends 1 through the realms, but it's 2 already dead. Genetics on the run, and Kyrmi on landing dies to the damage from the ultimate. Pegon at least gets 1 for his troubles from the grave.
Yeah, but the steal on the objective. Kyrmi ulting in. Thanks to that stall from Awesome Jake as well. That's one of the benefits of sending the River of Styx across the map. It's slow, but if you're on an objective, not like it can be juked, right? You're going to be on that objective no matter what. Stalled the DPS long enough that Kyrmi was able to ult in, get that steal, and pick up some kills in the process. So definitely a good trade there for the Gilded Gladiators. And it's going to keep pushing that gold even further. We're only 11 minutes in. Beacon going to spawn in here in about a minute or so. Not really like either solo laner wants to rotate out, and actually Cxnnahh just goes full damage. I expected a breastplate, considering you're up against double assassin and a Heimdallr, but just goes into the divine, and here comes Sot in the sky.
Crash onto Jangaru, but a quick ultimate in response. Jangaru diving in. Jake right next to him to silence. Catches the road. Jangaru used the Aegis from the dead side, but that's not enough to save him. Now it's Panitom who gets the credit for that kill. And Netrioid low, almost killed by Cxnnahh in solo. A miserable lane for Netrioid to deal with. Can we actually pull up net worth to see the difference between Cxnnahh and Net right now?
Oh my goodness, 2,000.
2,000 gold?
2,000.
Oh my god.
I mean, Net, what does Net do with that build especially? You don't have anything that clears. You get close to Cxnnahh, you die. You try and clear the wave, you die. Sot can just blink this, so shouldn't be in trouble, but didn't even care to blink it. Now he's in combat, and now he's dead.
Stuns there. No, he's not dead just yet.
Missed
He's a little
dash.
bit more. The silence is good for the time, but Kyrmi still lives. Sot falls down, but it's a trade out 1-for-1. Awesome Jake rowing away. Netrioid has now joined the fight, but Cxnnahh is here as well. He's got ultimate. He's fully healthy to jump into this fight. Doesn't have the blink just yet. Netrioid goes to the back line, manages to get a kill for himself, but not before Cxnnahh takes him down after. And now teaming up with Jake, not far for Genetics to go. He's up in the sky. Pegon sends Jake through the realms. That might be a kill, but Piercing Moonlight's back. Jangaru dives onto Pegon, takes him down with the help of Cxnnahh, but Panitom is going to keep it going. Gets away with the blast off, but Panitom can't get the kill. Genetics, the only one still alive after all of that fighting, with 2 low health bars on the Glad.
Yeah, they know that Sot's on the way, and Hovering Death could come through at any moment. So yeah, channeling your back is a good start, but Genetics could stop a back. Will not be able to do so. The banish, not the call. But wow, I mean, that blast off would have killed Jangaru. He just barely jukes it out. Netrioid got some good damage on his Snoopy, but the second he commits to that kill, certainly falls down. I'm amazed that Cxnnahh wasn't able to find the kill on the Genetics. I mean, that's the benefit of going first item Shoguns. That extra magical defense actually does pay off quite well there.
Kyrmi in danger, nearly killed. Bluestone's not going to be enough to take him down. Under 100 health for the Ratatoskr, even though Netrioid's behind in lane. Still even level with Kyrmi. Keep trying to fight back. Cxnnahh, he wants to steal this blue buff. He's taking just about every one of them at this point. Goes out the second ability. Still trying to take it away. Net pulls it all the way to tier 2 tower to guarantee he's got the range.
Smart call. I mean, if you get hit by the card, you're getting chased down there, even with the slow immunity. You gotta watch out for how much damage Cxnnahh has on this Zhong, especially with the blink. So I think a smart look, especially because its ultimate was down, and missing the beads for Net just to run all the way to tier 2 tower. Oni Fury spawns in here shortly though, J-Mac. There is still some fighting to be had on the left side of the map. Speaking of duo lane, hasn't really been a duo lane for a while. It's been a lot of fighting. You look at Awesome Jake, he's going to send the ultimate in. Sot's the target, he goes down immediately. Oh my goodness.
River 6 catches him out. Cxnnahh punishes him. Now it's Genetics fighting back, but Genetics has no damage built aside from that tier 1 trinket. He went full defense immediately after. And so the Gladiators can go straight to the Fury. Snoopy and Kyrmi are going to take that one, no problem. Pegon doesn't even have a chance to walk over because Jake's just going to make sure he is zoned away. Gilded Gladiators with a 6,000 gold lead. And all the pressure in the world now, grabbing that Fury for themselves. Pegon still fighting against Jake. He might just be able to turn this one back around. Genetics is showing up, but As long as Jake's got that ability against this Heimdallr, he's got plenty good gap creation. Pegon by Frost in. Frenzy pop by Awesome Jake, but Snoopy picked up into the sky by the banner. Silence there by Jake, and he's taking decent damage from Pegon, but now it's SoloOrTroll on the way, where it lands right on top of Jake, dunks in, the shell buys him a moment, and now it's Kyrmi on the scene. Also, too, though, he misses the death sight, and it's Jangaru to punish right on top of Genetics, and it's a double for the mid.
Yeah, they're not done yet. You can tell the rotation comes through, but that's all that is going to happen. Pegon is going to retreat all the way back to the Tier 2 tower. He doesn't want to stick around for the rotation from Panitom. Good call, just to stall as long as possible until Kyrmi could come through. But Sot landing first does net the kill on Awesome Jake. Might be the worst, right? But Netrioid goes in and up downs with the ult.
Kyrmi taken down. Netrioid walking through the caltrops. Falls to Jangaru. 1-for-1 trade. Not ideal to lose Kyrmi, but killing stronger opponent, in this case level-wise. 15 for Netrioid. Still down 2 levels to Cxnnahh on the Zhong. Pyromancer alive. Maybe not for much longer. The Gilded Gladiators already drooping up. They took Fury a moment ago. Grab the Pyromancer and keep pushing this lead.
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm Netrioid, I'm probably just AFK pushing, getting some extra farm online, because trading your life for a kill when you're 2,000 down is never good. River of Styx does connect Sot. No way he's going to make it out of this one. The Ghost looks like it's not going to be able to finish it. He should be able to land and heal just
that was
in
so
time.
close.
It was ridiculously close, but not enough damage. Here comes Kyrmi, though, trying to die. Panitom can't pop an Aegis when you're in the house. He's going to fall down.
Kyrmi gets credit for one. Genetic standing by. Pegon sends Snoopy through the realm.
He disapparated.
And on landing, will
he didn't
have the Aegis, but as soon as it fades, Pegon trades that one out, gets the kill. So a 1-for-2 across the map for the Oni Warriors. Does benefit the Warriors. Any kill that they can find while behind the Gladiators is a kill that gets them closer to closing up the lead.
Yeah, I can't believe that Snoopy has so much immunity and still found a way to get sent through the realms there. All you really got to do is pop your 3 before that ult, and you should be fine when you land. Unfortunately for Snoopy, did not time it well enough, ends up dying and losing his Aegis in the process. So solo kill go in the way of Pegon. That duo lane pushed up very far because of how long Pegon's been sitting over there. That's what I'm talking about. Netrioid needs to just AFK in lane for a bit. He needs to try and catch up because Cxnnahh, level 18, finally does get the breastplate online. This Zhong is a problem. Loki's got 3 items. A little bit more difficult to be able to match that level of damage when you've got Jotun's Hydras and Titan's Bane.
There's defense, though, for Cxnnahh now, so can deal with the Loki to an extent. Plenty of sustain as well. The only anti-heal to really deal with this is going to be that Divine Rune from Panitom. Cxnnahh can fight 1, but can he fight 2? Well, he's got backup from Kyrmi instantly. As soon as Kyrmi dives in, SoloOrTroll is gone. Genex has shown up. He doesn't have the bulk of the damage. He gets stunned out by the card. Still alive. Valkyrie's Discretion isn't enough damage. It is. Needs all 4 shots, though. But Kyrmi can just close in this gap. Keep fighting in the 1v1. Genex actually winning this boxing match. Shoots out the banish, but Kyrmi doesn't have enough damage. The defense proves to be a little too strong. Genetics gets the kill. Jake walks back in. Genetics has decent lifesteal through his passive to keep this one alive, and he's just going to keep W-King, but with Jangaru on the way, Genetics shouldn't be able to hold out on his shenanigans much longer.
I mean, he can't keep getting away with this. He needs to die to Jangaru. Kyrmi, what? You could have just stalled. You didn't have to go in if you didn't have the cooldowns.
Typhon diff.
That is a Typhon's diff, for sure. I mean, my man's got 1 damage item, and it was enough to out-damage Kyrmi. Not a great look. That's actually pretty big for the Oni Warriors. They're able to trade and get some farm throughout the map. And so far, just trying to catch up has been the call. It's not like they've been able to change the gold differential that much. Sure, the members that need farm haven't got it, like Sot and Netrioid just died, and they need that farm better than anyone. But any bit of stalling this game out is going to help the Oni Warriors, and that's what they're looking for.
Do you have the Gold Fury back up? Beacon capped by the Gladiators. Only 1 left to go before Titans unleash. And with the Fury alive, having a soul by nature means that Furies will be pretty simple for the Gilded Gladiators. They'll take that one. No contest from the Oni Warriors to stop this one. And so another little pool of gold granted over to the Gilded Gladiators from the objective. But this gold has stayed the same the whole way. Pegon, he can't even get through the Bifrost before he goes down. Good damage from Snoopy and Jangaru to get that kill. But as I was saying, I mean, the gold has not gone anywhere. We've been sitting at this 5,000 gold plateau for the last 8 or so minutes of this game.
Now would be the time to do something with that gold lead, though. And the Gilded Gladiators do seem to be heading over to the right side of the map. Pegon gone for 25. He's not going to have a Bifrost set up to get to Fire Giant. Snoopy, not sitting over in lane, is rotating over to the right side of the map. The only one nearby is Netrioid, who's actually around the jungle, who could call this out immediately. But it's a Pyromancer pull instead.
Kyrmi shows up, all 5 Gladiators at Pyro. They picked that one up. Now 2 Runic Bombs in pocket for Fire. Jake and Kana walk up and they might just 2v2 the rest of the team. SoloOrTroll's dead. Kyrmi jumps in on top of Panitom and lives for a little while longer, but can't get to the house in time. Instead, it's the Gilded Gladiators picking up 2, going straight back to Fire.
We're going to start this one up. Netrioid's nearby. That's the best steal attempt at the moment, but with the Frenzy being popped, I don't think the Oni Warriors are going to even step up to this one. Fire Giant will drop down unless Netrioid can make a miracle steal. No, not even. Decoy's not going to be enough, and actually the ult might connect. Trying to chase this one down. Net needs to hold his ult, and he does just that. Won't have the damage to get the full kill. And a tier 2 tower picked up for the Oni Warriors. So they got some free farm in the meantime. But now it's time for the Gilded Gladiators to get a lot of farm. They got Fire Giant at 21 minutes. They're going to run it down right.
Jake leading the charge with Snoopy. Not enhanced Fire Giant. So do need those minions to remove the backdoor protections. But as soon as they do, well, Soul will chunk that tower down, no problem. Still 2 in mid to deal with. As Jangaru steals away the red buff from the Oni Warriors. Panitom walks up, immediately gets stunned out. Jangaru keeps up this chase as long as he got Piercing Moonlight, but he doesn't yet. Instead, it's SoloOrTroll over the wall. A quick blink death sight puts an end to that conversation. Gilded Gladiators lose 1. Kyrmi hit by a death sight as well, but Kana showing up, and the River Styx there as well. No chance for Sot to get out of this one. 1-for-1 trade for the Gladiators.
That's Sot's 8th death as Netrioid goes in, and Netrioid goes away. Way too much damage coming from Snoopy. Doesn't seem like the Gilded Gladiators are done. Kana steps forward, does have the ultimate. That is not going to be enough to finish off some Jake, but Genetics might be in some trouble as here comes Kana with the wraparound.
Kana does get hit by the banish, pops the beads, does have ultimate, uses it just to try and escape. Kyrmi, where will he crash back down? You lost the 1v1 to Genetics last time. Won't go in for the fight once more. Jake still low. Silence does hit Panitom. The Warriors are keeping up the chase. They've got enough slow in their kit, but Jake's got ultimate back up. He throws it over Pegon's way. He uses the ultimate and the beads to try and escape. But you got to keep watch on Panitom and Genetics. They're sitting off to the side.
Yeah, you also got to watch out for Sot, who just spawned back in. He's got Hovering Death. Thanatos over the wall could be the one that ends that fight, so probably a smart call for the Gladiators to just head on back. Finally, we're seeing that gold lead climb even further. It took a while for the Gilded Gladiators, so we're hovered right about that 5K mark until that Fire Giant actually goes down. Sure, Jangaru bites off a little more than he can chew at a red buff invade. Still should have some time to be able to group up with the squad. They've got 1 minute and 36 more seconds. And considering the only wave that's pushed up is mid, unless Snoopy's able to get the minions up there quickly, it might just be an Oni Fury call. And I don't think they've got enough time. Maybe one attempt at a push after this Oni Fury, but even then, your Fire Giant's going to fall off.
We have Oni Fury now for the Gilded Gladiators. No contest from the Warriors to stop that one, so a 10K lead and climbing now for the Gladiators. Do want to point out, it's not going to be the typical Blood-Soaked Shroud that we normally see from our main solos. Kana actually going for the Sacrificial Shroud. He's going to make sure to continuously amplify up that damage because, well, as you can see, he's got plenty of sustaining kit to not have to worry about the damage trade-off or the health trade-off for that extra burst.
Sot looking for a wraparound play already in the backline. The Phoenix is dead. Netrioid forced ult out, but Genetics is already gone.
Jangaru got a Piercing Moonlight, some decent damage. Panitom is safe for now. Pegon uses the Gjallarhorn to stay alive for the time being. Phoenix down, Oni Warriors out for now. But do they continue the chase? Netrioid's got good poke. Some lower health bars on the Gladiators, specifically Kyrmi. sitting under half. Kana has seen sustain in his kit. As long as he can spot one person, he's got good burst, but the Gilded Gladiators, they can't step too far forward. The damage to the Warriors and that ever-looming threat of when that execute comes back online. Might have to try and keep themselves alive, though, because Gladiators are going right back in to the mid Phoenix. It falls down. Now might be the time to back out.
Yep, mid Phoenix goes down. No more ultimates available just yet, except Netrioid's getting close. Sot getting close as well. Looks like wants to go in for a hovering death Panitom. Last up 4, but awesome Jake, he's not going to run away. He's going to send the ult out.
Goes once more, does hit Sot, gets beads from him and Panitom, who is so far away from that fight. 2 sets of beads for an ultimate that Jake was just tossing out there because he's got plenty of cooldown to do so. Look, he's maxed out his CDR just to keep throwing those rivers out.
Yeah, I mean, Jake wants to fight, man. Say what you want about the Charon, but man, gets a Chronos Pen and gets a Spear of Deso and just starts spamming abilities to anyone that will step up. 2 Phoenixes down, not to mention the Titans are unleashed over on right here soon. That's going to be very easy for the Gilded Gladiators to either A, group up and push with, or B, just let it push while they go in for Fire Giant. I wouldn't be surprised if the Oni Warriors group up in the jungle and try and fight. I mean, you can see the fire waves are pushing in, but you're not going to have to worry about the fire waves if your Titan is gone. So they can set up an ambush here, get some vision from Pegon, send the sword to the sky.
Oh, Fireman's got there in time to stop it.
Yeah, and try and set up. Oh, you're right, the Titan stopped. Oh, there we go. It cleared out. You're all good.
Got locked in place for the moment, but the fight breaks out in mid. SoloOrTroll to the sky. Panitom nearly demonstrates Kana. The XU doesn't get there because it's Panitom's damage instead, but it's already 2 now for the Gladiators, but it's also 2 for the Warriors. Netrioid and Genetics, the last alive. It's the duo of the Warriors to survive the end, but now it is only one lone Genetics. Jangaru waiting for his abilities to come up to take him down. Triple kill for Jangaru. And the Gilded Gladiators went out on the fight. Might not have the push for the Fire Giant, but can now go and clear out the Titan.
Yeah, but the Titan's back in base. Maybe Jangaru runs it up and can just go for the end call, but it's not. So they have to go and deal with it, which means not much, if I'm honest. I don't think we're going to see a Fire Giant call unless the waves just stack up so much that the Titan insta-dies on respawn, which I don't think it has. Means that there's probably just going to be a double down here. The Gilded Gladiators can start up Fire Giant and then go in for their call.
Holy, they had an army waiting for them.
They did have an army. But
wait, hold on. Are they going to end before
Pegon's here in 5.
I mean,
no.
The Warriors respawn. He's got the silence, but wow, that got dangerously close. Another 4 or 5 seconds, and that might have just been game.
Yeah, it was close. They had a lot to deal with, but the good news for the Oni Warriors is that both their Phoenixes will spawn in here shortly, and Jangaru is going to get weak. Pegon teleports in. Yeah, Jangaru's going to run. He's going to show up on Sot's passive any second now. You don't want to be doing a low health Fire Giant when there's a Thanatos around.
No, that's an easy execute.
For Sot,
Oh,
Kyrmi goes in. Sot blinks past.
He's gone.
Sot can't even get in the sky. Kyrmi waiting for a dunk target. Pegon chooses beads,
What?
but he misses. Gets the stun after. But now Pegon's got to fight the rest of the army of the Gladiators. He'll go down. Meanwhile, Titan's kind of dying in the background this entire time. As Jangaru Kana continue their push up mid. Panitom still alive in the house. Kana goes for the ultimate. Panitom dead as soon as it fades away. And it will just be the dual lane once more of the Oni Warriors still alive.
Netroid's going to delete 1.
Netrioid walks in. He goes to Jangaru. He takes him down, but Kana trades it back out. Double for the Zhong, Kyrmi, Jake, Kana. The last 3. It's just Genetics on defense, and he's having a tough time clearing out the minion wave. Meanwhile, Jake will just walk right past. Genetics just gets blinked on by Kyrmi, by Kana, and that is GG Gilded Gladiators in 3.
The Gilded Gladiators get their first and only win of the phase, the last day of the regular season. 3-0 over the Oni Warriors, who had a little bit of fun in this set, J-Mac. They did not play the same role twice that I can think of, besides what?
Panitom.
Panitom did solo. That's about it. And Genetics kind of went back to the support.
He might as well have played support twice.
Yep, he might as well have played support twice at that point. But the Gilded Gladiators, off of some great performances from Kana, just absolutely owns over in solo lane. That Zhong was a threat. Jangaru, that Tsukuyomi was a problem. The Piercing Moonlight was just essentially executing everyone it connected on. Not bad. Not a bad look from the Gilded Gladiators to end their phase.
Now, I will say, even though the Warriors are having a bit of fun, I really did like what we saw out of the Tsukuyomi. We've seen it a couple of times now this phase. Both times it's looked pretty good. Assassin mid may not necessarily be the meta right now, but who knows? Should meta shift happen? Should Assassins make their way back? I wouldn't be upset if we saw Jangaru go back to this pick one more time.
I wouldn't hate it. I mean, he knew, number one, how to just pilot it against mages, but also who to target. The guys without Aegis. Turns out Sot was the target more often than not.
And with it, the Gilded Gladiators get their first win of the phase on the final day, a 3-0 over the Oni Warriors. That's it for Charlie and I here on the cast. We'll throw it back over to Gore and Mifflin on the desk.
That's right. Nobody beats the Gilded Gladiators 10 sets in a row. In specifically this instance, because their loss streak actually extends a little further beyond that. But yeah, no,
Dude, they won. We gotta talk them up.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody beats them that many times in a row. The 3-0 Mifflin. Some crazy fights in that last one, and that's really what I'm hanging my hat on.
And what else is there to hang your hat on? Because we do not have hat racks here at High Res. Assassins look good, I suppose. Hard to say. Hard to glean anything relevant from that set, if we're being completely honest. Kyrmi got soloed by genetics. Oh. What'd you say?
The Kyrmi got soloed by genetics is what
I'm thinking Kyrmi's pretty good.
Oh.
Personally.
He's pretty good, man. Ends up going 7-6-16 this game. 3-4-26. Jake racking up the assists as much as he can. Jangaru 12, 5, and 11. Some good-looking numbers there for the Gladiators. And Mifflin, the best case scenario for them is that they end this phase on a win. The last time that we're going to get to see them for a few months since a 3-0.
Do you think Kyrmi might be an industry plant? Like, I feel like he was invented by big esports, and he just happens to be here.
I'm going to need way more. What does that mean?
Well, you know,
the words you just said.
Oh, you never heard of industry plants?
It was
before?
a lot of like. Well,
it's
I mean,
like
it was like a
Weezer.
lot of like buzzwords.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like he's got the golden
Like
retriever
Weezer?
energy. You know, he's in a void of Barracuda. We don't have that signature smile anymore. Kyrmi's kind of doing that.
Oh,
Might just be an industry plant.
you're saying that like Hindu specifically like curated Kyrmi to become the SMITE player we see today because of his smile?
Yeah, probably.
I guess we can find out. We've got Kyrmi standing by for an interview.
Yeah, I've got Kyrmi with me, and Kyrmi, I guess I'll open up. Do you have any idea what Mifflin was talking about?
Yeah, I guess I'm an industry plant. I don't know.
It seems that way, at least from what Mifflin's talking about. Talking about this one, I know you guys get a win right at the end of the phase. Not going to see you guys for a little bit of time. What's the game plan for the team for these next couple of months, starting to ramp up towards that last chance qualifier?
Obviously, this set was pretty troll. I think I played pretty horribly, missing like 80% of my Thanatos ults. Getting soloed by genetics was pretty troll, but I mean, we had some fun. It's nice to have a win, but it would have felt better if we like genuinely earned it, I think. But going forward for me, last year was an embarrassment at Worlds Qualies, and I just can't let that happen again. I let the anxiety and the pressure get to me, and I'm not going to let it happen again come this time. So I'm going to work on becoming the best leader and the best self that I can for coming that tournament.
Talk to me a little bit about adding Jangaru to the team you've made now. I think it's 3 full roster adjustments coming into this phase, whether it be your own choice or a choice brought onto you by other people out there, and then 1 role swap now with Snoopy. How's Jangaru, how's the whole squad kind of starting to mesh together towards the end of the phase?
I think one of our biggest issues at the start of the phase was figuring out or getting everybody on the same page. I think I mentioned this before in a different interview. I think we're getting better and better at it, and I know Ron mentioned in the beginning interview, we have gotten a lot better about it, even if it doesn't necessarily show, but I do promise you that it has gotten better, and throughout this break is what we'll be still working on. I think it's coming together.
Kyrmi, it's been a pleasure at least watching you guys go throughout the phase. Even through all the troubles you guys have gone through, able to find yourselves a big win out here into this set. So for you, you've already mentioned, you know, your final kind of looking forward is to make it to that Worlds. I mean, how much would making it to the World stage mean for you in this year?
It would mean a lot. I mean, Season 10 is the big year, right? Celebrating a decade of SMITE, and I would like to be one of the players that gets to play Worlds. It really sucked that we lost last year, and a lot of it was my fault.
I don't think it was all your fault, man. You're being a bit too hard on yourself. Got to give yourself some credit. You know what, Kyrmi, congratulations on the win today. I'll let you get back with the team. We'll throw it back to this to close it out.
You can hear there, Miff stun-locked by that.
I can't call him an industry plant anymore. He's so nice.
He's really nice. He's a good dude.
He's just like Weezer.
And the thing that I loved to hear is that they've still planned to nose to the grindstone. Again, the road is not over for them. They just have to take a different path than everybody else. They're more or less on the bypass, I guess, right now, right? Everybody else is going straight through. Playoffs is going to be what's next for 6 of our teams, the majority of our teams. The Gladiators and the Hounds, one who won today, one who lost today, are going to be taken again that long way around. We won't get to see them again until January. Based on what we just heard from Kyrmi, it's going to be the focus for them to get to that world stage. They have just a couple of teams to beat in order to get there. And so that's going to be their main goal. Same goal for the Hounds, to try and meet their counterparts. Now, for everybody else, above them, the top 3 in each division, they're going to be going Mifflin to the playoffs with the most dominant performance, presumably being the Ferryman, considering how often they won and going 9-1. That means they'll be first seed. Warriors are second seed since they are the top of their own division. They get a first round bye. The others are going to be put up against each other. Now you can look at the grand thing, double elim. Most important part, if you look down, match 3 and 4, that's the Ferryman and the Warriors set. Winner of those goes to Worlds. They will be there. So they only have to win 1. That's part of being first seed. Of course, their opponents aren't going to give them an easy time. Same thing down there. Match 6 and match 5 are also promotional matches going to Worlds. Match 7 and match 8, those are going to determine first seed, second seed, third seed, fourth seed. For those of you who are curious, what does first seed get versus fourth seed? You actually not only, first off, get the glory of being first seed, top of the bracket, also get to choose your opponent from the other 4 teams that end up qualifying for the World Championship. So, in this instance, let's say if the Ferryman won, they could choose any of the other 4 teams, whether that's the Hounds, the Gladiators, 2 of the teams that get eliminated at playoffs will still have to play through there, or any of the SCC teams, whoever ends up making it there in that 1 week before those qualifiers for Worlds the week before, you would be able to choose them. So a lot on the line, Myth. Looking at the first 2 matches that are guaranteed, Ravens, Dragons, Leviathans, Kings, is one standing out to you as tantalizing?
Yeah, the top side of the bracket, I think, quarter match 1, probably a little bit more weight behind that one. I'm a bit down on the Camelot Kings right now. Whether or not they're going to have a resurgent down period where they get that practice under their belt and they come back looking like the Camelot Kings that we expect, maybe that Leviathans match looks a little bit better, but as it stands now, based on recency bias, I think top side of the bracket a little bit more competitive.
Now, worth reminding you all, because this was the last regular season, this upcoming Thursday, that's the 9th and the 10th, we're going to be going live around noon with some of the teams that are coming in. My mind is blanking. I know for a fact that we have the Kings on one of those 2 days. I want to say the other one's the Dragons that are going to be coming in. We'll be playing with them. Chance for you at home. I'm looking at the wrong camera. The chance for you at home to queue and play with them in some custom games, as well as do team check-ins with Mifflin, things like that. Learn about the team, especially since it'll be some of the last time that you get to see them before playoffs. Then November 16th. That is the day you want to remember. We'll be going live with that bracket you just saw. All these teams are going to be playing. 4 of them will be going to Worlds by the 19th of November. We'll have at least half the bracket figured out, and then we'll have to go through all of December to figure out the rest of them. From myself, from Mifflin, everyone here in production, of course, here at High Res Studios, well, thank you so much for watching us with the regular season, and we'll see you for playoffs.